looking forward to this game so much, Michael, when you see the talent in both lineups, and they've been the best two teams by the length of the straight in both divisions, Peninsula and Nepean.
They're not close geographically, but both sides sort of saying, well, we're the best. No, we're the best. So I guess today's a long way towards
coming off with the blood rule too, by the looks.
A long way towards determining who is the best. Oh, he's got a fair cut under his right eye there.
Indeed.
No disguising that one. He'll just get wiped down. He'll be back on in the middle too, though. Quick kick by Hutchison towards half forward. 2-on-2 contest. Butland went up at the back, couldn't take the mark. There's a free kick to YCW, is it? Or is it a free kick to Sorrento? It's a free kick for holding the man. It's a free kick to Sorrento at centre half back. And the free kick is going to go to Jack Grant. Number 4, of course, normally worn by Troy Swartz, another one who's retired. So a short pass. Mark's been taken there. I think that's by Big Macklin Rain, who goes in short. That's why you probably don't let ruckman kick too many. It was smothered off the boot. Now a chance for the young fella who won the under-18s medal, under-19s medal last year, and Angus Ryder went inside 50, but no mark was taken. Pressure's put on there by Mazarek to keep the ball in. Stoppage.
You mentioned Troy Swartz, 6 times premiership player down there at Sorrento. So what a fantastic career he had down there, and gee, how good was he for the Sorrento Football Club?
Yeah, they probably wish they had Truby and Swartz still going around actually at the moment, but obviously they're both retired. Nevertheless, free kick for YCW. Outside at 50, now kick inside attacking 50. Potter went up, tried to kill the contest, but the ball came to the back of the pack and it came to Minchington, who has kicked a goal.
Beautiful crumbing goal there off the pack, just classic crumbing goal.
In fact, no, he's kicked the post.
Running an open goal and kicked the point.
He's missed from a metre. He must have hit the post.
A classic piece of crumbing there, the small forward he is, but yeah, missed a sitter there.
Well, there you go. 3-2-20 plays one behind. Margin is 19 points. Good mark taken by Mitch Hallahan, of course, brother of James, and was on the Gold Coast list for the last couple of years, and Hawthorn previously to that. So
another great get. Well, he's a former Judge A-Lister medalist as well at Box Hill. So, yeah, class act there again.
Good addition for Sorrento this year, that's for sure, after his AFL days probably done now, Mitch. Didn't work out for him as well at the Gold Coast, probably fair to say.
They seem to bring the big fish down to Sorrento, don't they? Better known as the Sharks.
Sharks, yeah. Sharks by name, Sharks by nature, I suppose. They've just got a never-ending supply of talent that they can get down there, that's for sure, considering it's a long way from the city. Ball over the line. Brian Mace, grandstand side of the ground. We're 16.5 minutes into the opening quarter. 3-2-20 YCW. Sorrento 1 behind, 1 point. This game, of course, brought to you by Mornington Rosebud. Pete and the team, the Mornington Rosebud Telstra stores. Sorrento need a goal just to get themselves going here. Grant receives it on the end of a chain of hand passes there. Now kick in short. Mark is taken for Sorrento. They've got the loose man created outer on the wing if the ball sits. The ball does sit just. It's picked up there by
Alex Bird,
who went towards half forward. It wasn't a great kick, and the YCW defence will just kill the contest there, and the ball is over the line, 50 metres out from goal. Nepean Highway will beach end of the ground in the opening quarter here when Sorrento just need a good piece of play, something to happen for them.
They need a goal to steady, you're right. They do. They've had the play, they've had the opportunities, but they just haven't converted.
Yeah, Chris Dawes missed one before that he would love to have over. He probably kicked that 8 times out of 10. Probably 9 even. And he missed that one before from 35.
Yeah, James Hallahan there just taking the ball over the line, and a class act as well, mate. They seem to get hold of him, don't they, consistently down there at Sorrento.
They really do, as the ball comes back into play. Quick kick by Mitch Hallahan. It was smothered. It's taken now for YCW, and the kick down the line, a floating kick. It'll be marked by Brigden though. James Brigden, who goes in short. He's looking for Daniel Grant. Oh, well done there by the YCW player there in Hodgson. It was just to push the ball back 20 metres, although Daniel Grant will go back and get it. He does balk. He goes with 2 bounces. He goes out towards centre wing, looking there for a teammate. And Daniel Grant, normally so good with the balls, turned the ball over 2 or 3 times so far. Mark taken by Santon. Quick kick. Mark taken by Jake Lovett. He's 75 metres out from goal. He's 2 kicks out from goal. He's just got to try and set this ball up here for someone. Mark taken by Jacob Cheverley. Goes towards half forward. Still a long way out from goal. Still 65 out from goal. They've gone from one side of the ground to the other. Ball on the Brian Mace grandstand side now as the kick goes towards half forward.
That's a terrific mark, contested mark there.
And 45 out. I'm just looking to see who the player is who's got it out there. That's Butland.
Josh Butland?
That's Butland with the ball. He's got his hands on a couple early, Neil.
Yeah, he's a dangerous forward, as we saw, as I said earlier in the call with last season. He had an absolute blinder. I think he actually was the club's leading goal kicker, wasn't he?
So Butland has the shot. He misses that one. So YCW a 3-3-21. Sorrento 1 behind 1 point, and that is on the Rye Hotel scoreboard.
You can see already, like these young guys we've just mentioned, Jake Lovett, another one, another under-19 come through the ranks and able to play for the VFL as well. I think he's playing down here with the Frankston Dolphins this season.
So kick out towards half-back. YCW looking to load up once again. Probably should be a bit further in front. YCW Minchington went up a little bit before acceptance.
He loves a hanger. He loves a hanger, doesn't he, Paul Minchington? He's got the free anyway.
Oh,
I think that was for tunnelling.
He's saying that Daniel Grant went back and shepherded him out of the contest.
I think it was tunnelling actually, going by the action of the umpire.
I think that's a poor decision, to be perfectly honest.
Well, he's got his chance to amends from running in an open goal about 5 minutes ago, and he missed.
So Minchington from 15 metres directly in front has the shot, puts it through for a goal. YCW have 4, and they are on top at the moment. 4-3-27, plays 1 behind 1 point, and that is on the Rye Hotel scoreboard. We will go to a break. You're listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula Football. Welcome back here to Frankston Park, and YCW 4-3-27, Sorrento 1 behind 1 point.
You can see already the difference with the pressure, Michael. You can see with YCW with their relentless pressure is already starting to show, and their class as well when they do get possession, particularly up in the forward arc.
So Sorrento needed a goal before quarter time, and they only really had the one opportunity to do it, although they've had a few inside attacking 50s in this quarter. So.
Well, Ryan Williams and Ash Eames, gee, they're two big bullocking men there out in the centre. Michael, you wouldn't want to come in between them two fellas, mate.
I don't think that Ryan Williams would have come up anyone the size of Ash Eames for quite a while, I wouldn't have thought. So Ash Eames, he is an absolute monster.
Well, he's dominated the competition for the last decade. He's another 7-time premiership player.
Gentle giant, mind you, off the field. Absolute monster on the field, and just hard man to match up on because he's so big and he can go forward and kick a few goals if need be.
Yeah, been the most dominant man in the competition.
So smothered off the boot there of Matt Dabrowski, and the ball goes over the line for a boundary throw-in.
He's never beaten either. He always loves to compete, doesn't he? Especially in the one-on-ones. He really prides himself on the man-on-man opportunity.
Ever since Eames has come down, I think he must be up to 8 premierships himself, 7 maybe. He might be going for 8 this year. Here's an opportunity now for Debenham to go to full forward. It's off the ground. It's a goal. I'll say that again. He actually kicked the goal from 55. It bounced in the square. It was an ugly-looking kick, but kicked it effectively and straight through.
Beautiful work from Kyle Hutchison there. Read the play. Got the tap down, handballed straight over, and a beautiful piece of play there. Classic YCW, that one.
Margin is 32 points, and this is looking bad for Sorrento at this stage.
Well, Kyle Hutchison, as I said, he was in last year's Team of the Century. I think he was selected at Ruck Rover. So another class player. He's represented Victoria. Big game player. He'd be loving today.
Just looking at, I know it's still early, but still just looking at next week. Sorrento home against Mount Eliza, YCW away against Seaford next week. Quick kick out of the centre for Sorrento, out towards the centre wing, and the ball will bounce over the line in front of Ryan Santon.
Well, as Paddy Swain said on the footy show yesterday, that no easy games this year at all in either division. They're all going to be, tight tussles right from round one.
So, boundary umpire to throw the ball back into play. We're into time on in the opening quarter. We're 23.5 minutes in. And, of course, you can watch the game. We'll give you information on how you can do that at quarter time. Good tackle applied by Byron Barry. In fact, turned his opponent over twice there.
It was Ryan Sands again there also going for the mark. So he's had a great first quarter. He's had a number of possessions as well.
Marcus Gardner was the man tackled there by Byron Barrow to stop him in his tracks. Here's a hand pass out, and YCW looking to clear once again. They just know where each other are.
Yeah, well, Kyle Hutchison again off the ground there, handball out of the pack.
Quick kick by Hallahan. James inside attacking 50 towards the forward pocket. Dawes went up there against Ongarello, and Dawes seems to have Ongarello matched for height there. Ongarello probably will go with him with pace, but I think Dawsey's got him a little bit covered in terms of height, so he needs that ball to go in high, and he needs to try and expose Ongarello there, because if the ball goes in a speed contest, Ongarello will match him all day long, I think.
There's no easy touches for him today, mate. He knows he's got his work cut out. He was the team of the year 4 back last year, Chris Ongarello, first season at the club, and team of the year 4 back, as well as a premiership player.
Here's an opportunity now for YCW to clear, and they do towards the centre of the ground. Goes up to big Macklin Rain. Brigden got the ball down. A chance here now for Sorrento to clear, and they do through the agency there. Langford it was, got the hand pass. Now the ball comes back, and switching play out towards Marston it was on half back, but now he's in a bit of trouble. In fact, needs to try and get the ball out to get a stoppage. He does. Over the line for a boundary throw in. YCW 5-3-33. Sorrento 1 behind 1 point. 25 minutes played in the opening quarter.
Gee, they've dominated, haven't they? They haven't missed much at all, the YC. They've really clicked in right from the opening bounce. Kicked those first 2 goals and really set themselves up.
Well, that breeze is just coming through nicely there. It's a little bit warm where we are, but that breeze is
source,
beautiful
Macklin
at the moment.
Making his presence felt.
Here's a kick by Burns out of the stoppage, kick towards the centre of the ground. And the umpire's going to have to call for a ball up, and does. Without Zach Burns out there, they'd probably be in a bit of trouble at the moment. He's probably been just about their best player in this quarter, in my opinion.
You'd say it's a good crowd without being a great crowd, Vossi. So I reckon we would have anticipated a few more heads, mate.
I think
coming down today, like this is the place to be down here at Skybus Stadium.
You've probably got 2 or 3 here. You probably need a couple to make it really worthwhile, I would have thought. But nevertheless, Tapscott with the ball.
You can tune in live to RPPFM as well as on Facebook and YouTube as well if you'd like to see the vision with our camera work as well. We've got cameras down here covering the live cross. Kick
by Tapscott to half forward was marked there for YCW by Hannes, who goes towards half back. Is that a mark? The umpire said no. Sorrento just trying to hang in there in the contest now. Quick kick by, I think that was James Hallam, went in short. Wasn't the greatest of kicks. A chance now for Wright. You can tell Angus Wright, he goes through the centre of the ground. He's got the long flowing ponytail. And I'll tell you what, he's quick too. He'd love the open spaces on this ground. Here's an opportunity for Santon, who's been pretty good. And Daniel Grant couldn't catch him. Ooh, Santon on the left foot has the shot at goal and misses. Daniel Grant's had a pretty poor quarter by his. I know he's got it a few times, but he's also turned it over a few times, Neil.
Well, I would say Ryan Santon is the best player on the ground this quarter. He's run and carry from the half-back line. Very dangerous indeed.
He is looking the goods at this stage. Daniel Grant just sort of down on his haunches a little bit, just hands on hips, sort of just trying to suck in the deep breaths at the moment, because it is tough work for Sorrento at the moment. I think it's probably tough work for both sides. It's warm out here today. Hutchison with the ball, centre half forward for Frankston YCW. He goes back. He'll be kicked from 60 metres.
Well, he's going to need every bit of it, won't he? He'll have to get onto this one because he's kicking right on the arc.
Towards the Car Street end of the ground. That wind's probably picked up a little bit, but still not a major threat. That's a kick at goal. It's not going to make it. In fact, it's a mark in front. It's a kick at goal by Minchington. He marked it in front. The Sorrento defence didn't go with him. He just turned around and kicked the goal. And how easy was that, Neil?
Oh, Paul Minchington, he's a smart forward, as we all know. And Kyle Hutchison, once again, front and centre in the play. Their half-back line and midfield have just dominated this first 25 minutes, Michael.
This is looking really, really ominous right now. YCW basically kicking off 2018 as they finished 2017 in the last quarter. They absolutely dominated that last quarter last year, kicked and won by 100 points in the grand final, 100 points plus actually, I think.
Well, there's no premiership hangover in this first quarter, not for the YCW boys anyway.
They're a professional outfit for a reason, and Sorrento are too, but at the moment, Sorrento are being taught a football lesson. Again, a turnover by Daniel Grant. Could have marked that one, actually, there for YCW as Mazarek, but decided to knock it away and over the line, right below where we're broadcasting this afternoon. It is 6-4-40 to 1 behind 1 point. 28.5 minutes gone in the opening quarter. Eames almost scooped that up. Yeah, that's a free kick against Ash Eames. That's a fair enough decision because without actually getting the tap on the ball, he lifted the ball. And that's instant throw in my books, as the umpire says.
Well, it's a really good contest already between the two big men on the ground. They're both going hard at it, that's for sure.
Oh, poor kick by Williams there over the line, out of bounds on the fall.
Another one, yeah. Ryan Williams, that was.
And a free kick now. And McLeod it is who goes high towards half forward. No mark taken. Quick kick by Menchington. They're going to kick another goal here, or they should.
Jake
Running into the open goal. One bounce into the open goal. Kick a goal from the goal square as a goal. And that is Jake Lovett, who's put through YCW's 7th goal. And they are 7-4-46. Sorrento 1 behind 1 point. And that is on the Rye Hotel scoreboard. And we will be having I think we might be having a chat to a special guest at quarter time. We'll a familiar voice to RPP. We won't tell you who it is right yet, but we will have a chat to him in a minute. But this is just an absolute avalanche, especially towards quarter time. The Sorrento were hanging in there for quite a bit there, Neil, but the dam wall's broken.
Yeah, it has, I'm afraid to say. The 7-4-46 to 1 point, as you said. Going into quarter time, this is really, they've got to really lift their intensity. There's the siren.
And everything right for YCW, including kick and goal with about 5 seconds to go.
Yeah, 7-4-46, Frankston YCW to Sorrento, just a single point.
What we might actually do before we go to a break, we might actually go have a chat to this said guest, and we'll say good afternoon to you, Lockie Kelly. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Vossi. Good afternoon, Neil. How are we?
G'day, Lockie. How are you, mate?
Not too bad, mate. Yeah, things are well, I guess. We're just taking it day by day so far, so yeah, not too bad.
And how is Dad, mate?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been day by day so far. He has his good days, he has his bad days. Obviously, the cancer's through his bones, so there's a fair bit of pain coming through that. So he's on quite heavy meds, as you can imagine, which means he's obviously quite drowsy, so unfortunately couldn't make it today. But I'm sure he'll be listening at home to what's been a great goal so far. And I mean, it's a tough game to commentate so far, isn't it, lads?
Well, it is. It's as you say, Lockie, with YC just total domination there in that first quarter, and they're playing for the Andrew Toe Punch Shield today. So
they are. They've
you'd
stepped to the
expect
occasion.
Sorrento being the proud club that they are with their level of success that. You know, you expect they'll be much more competitive once that second quarter begins.
Well, you'd think so, mate, but I look out today and I see a complete different Sorrento outfit to what I see last year. You know, they might add, you know, Mitch Allahan, keep Dawes, but it's the second stringers that are coming through. I mean, you hear today, obviously, no 19s played today because they couldn't field a 19 side. Throughout all their practice matches, Sorrento were really struggling to find a twos team as well. So I think it comes into depth today. I mean, and probably for the rest of the year for Sorrento. Obviously, with the change in the leagues happening, you know, there's a bit more travel for Sorrento this year. Which means, you know, I mean, and not a lot of them like travelling. I mean, that's it. I mean, the crowd, as Vossi said today, it's a pretty good crowd, but it's not a great crowd. You know, not as good as what it could be, because Sorrento don't travel, and that's always tends to be the case. I mean, you look out there today, and there's players like Ethan King, Alex Bird. I mean, Alex Bird's. It's his first year at Sorrento. He was at Dramana last year and couldn't get a game in there once. And Dramana, as we know, weren't a great side, great outfit last year. They missed out on finals. Matty Dabrowski's out there. He played twos all year last year for Sorrento. So there's a lot of players out there that aren't in Sorrento's. I mean, from what Sorrento were last year, they weren't in their best side. So they're clearly lacking a lot of depth. And I mean, a bloke, Tom Langford, he played first 2 games of last year and then disappeared back to VFL or country footy. I can't remember what it was, but to me, from what I saw that first quarter, they don't look like they're a team. They don't look
gelled. We've just spotted there in the Sorrento huddle. Down at the back there.
Yeah, well, he'd be good mates with Chris Dawes, wouldn't he? So
you'd expect him to be, wouldn't you? So,
yeah.
But you're right in what you're saying there. I spoke with Jeff Morgan, the Sorrento stalwart down there, club's secretary, just talking before the game, and he said that there's no 19s for the season. And as he said, what's the disappointing part about that is they actually won the flag 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, exactly right.
So you know,
and they were in it last year. They were in the
and I believe
they've
had no 16s or 17s this last season. So.
Yeah, it's a huge worry for him, especially with what could happen next year. I mean, next year it's still up in the air whether the three leagues can be joined out with Casey. So Pakenham being one of the Premier sides out there and Sorrento being one of the Premier sides down here, there might be the chance of Sorrento having to travel to Pakenham. And I mean, just having to travel to Bomb Beach has really scared the 19s away and made half a two side. So.
Watch this space.
An extra 45
exactly
minutes of travelling, and they can't handle it. But without Sorrento being in Division 2 this year, like, it's going to create a lot more interest in Division 2, and it's a much more open competition. But maybe a side like Tybe notoriously struggled. They might still struggle, but they might win more games this year. It's going to make it a very interesting comp.
Oh, exactly right, mate. I mean, it's something that I know Dad's pushed for a long time, and a lot of the coaches, Premier coaches, have pushed for a long time. Because, I mean, it's not right for your Frankston and Sorrentos, who've been dominant over the last 2-3 years, to run around against Tybe. I mean, they want to walk out and be against a fit side like YC or Bomb Beach, every week. They don't put in the hard work through pre-season and through the week to go out and, know you're going to rock up against a side that's probably equivalent to your twos. And go out and win by 100 points every week. And it's made those sides like Langmoran, Karingal, who were in the top division, who were getting pumped by YC every week, YC Pines, Seaford Delight. And they come out into the bottom league, and they've picked up players because the players know they're not going to walk out and get pumped by YC every week, because the players are happy to go and play in an even comp.
Well, as your dad elated to that over the pre-season, that they were the biggest mover and shaker, Karingal.
Yeah, exactly right. They've got their players back,
getting some of their old players back.
Got
some really good signings.
Exactly right.
All the momentum in their off-season or pre-season, and then the new rooms officially open.
Yeah, exactly.
As you're saying, Lockie, there's in Division 2, we might see a premiership this year that hasn't, for a club that hasn't been there for a while.
Exactly right, and
the potential is there. Anyway.
And that's what it does. I mean, YC's not going to come up against, easy sides every week. I mean, Sorrento. So far from what we've seen, this was going to be the premier match throughout the year, but obviously what we've seen from Sorrento hasn't been great. I'm sure they'll come out now and give it a red hot crack, but YC aren't going to come up against sides that they've been easy beats all year, so it's going to be interesting to see, Vossi.
And the two sides that they've come up with, Rosebud won yesterday, beat Mornington, and Frankston lost to Mount Eliza by 2 points. So they've handled the jump up, albeit on a small sample size, one game, but they've handled the jump up all right so far. Yeah,
exactly right. I mean, I watched Mount Eliza against Dramana in a practice match only 2 weeks ago, and Mount Eliza I thought were going to struggle. To come out against Frankston, who are a really good outfit, were a great outside outfit last year and knocked them over. So that's just going to be an unbelievable comp, I think, in both regards. I mean, both Div 1 and Div 2, it's going to be great footy to watch. It's going to be exciting every week.
And getting back to your dad, Andrew, as we said, we're both clubs today playing for the Andrew Toe Punt Shield. I know you listen, Toey, so I hope you're well, mate. And Katie as well, I know is with you, your mum, and Brianna, your sister, and the Kelly family. Well, the tentacles have been far-reaching this week. We spoke with his protege about his protege Jack Heverum over there in South Africa.
He's over in South
and
Africa.
today in the Herald Sun, there's a brief passage about Andrew as well. So,
it's been
Toey,
amazing.
Your tentacles are reaching far and wide, mate. So hang in there, mate.
He's a bit bigger than what he thought, I think, the big fella. Probably need to stop talking about him too much. He's going to get a big head. It's big enough as it is.
And it was a fantastic day, evening last Friday night here
it's
with the season launch. And
all jokes
when
aside,
Andrew crossed over live from his hospital bed to be awarded his Lifetime Achievement Award.
Brilliant.
Life
Absolutely
membership.
Brilliant, massive. I think there's only 6 or so. I think Brendan was saying 6 people in that life membership category. So, it was an absolute awesome thing for Dad to cop. He's been doing it for over 25 years, nearly over 30 years, I think. So, he does it as a hobby. Everyone thinks he does it as a full-time job, but he does it out of his own, out of his own pocket, mate. And he absolutely loves it. Lives and breathes local footy. So, it's absolutely awesome for him to have this shield named after him. Such a big game. And just have
a lot of support. You can just see the football fraternity far and wide on the peninsula and across the peninsula.
Exactly right, mate. To get the gratitude he's got over the last 2 months, it's absolutely phenomenal for what he's put into local footy.
Thanks very much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the day. And again, pass on our best to Toey, and hopefully we'll see him at the footy soon.
Will do. No worries, Dads. Have a good call.
Good on you, Lockie.
Lockie Kelly there, and he will no doubt be staying around. The Andrew Toe Punt Kelly Shield will be given out at the end of today, and looks like it's going to go to one side at the moment, Neil. Yeah,
well, unless they man up, the simple things in football. You just got to play man-on-man football this quarter if you're playing for Sorrento, don't you, Michael?
Yeah,
just try and stem the flow of that loose man and those easy goals that they got in that second half of the first quarter.
Eliza will be in Sorrento's opponents next week, and they'd sort of be looking and going, wow, YCW are looking ominous early as the kick for YCW out of the contest goes towards half forward. That was Grant with the ball, and that was, of course, Jack Grant it was, who couldn't control the ball, and the ball was kicked over the line for a boundary throw-in. The Pean Highway beach end of the ground in the second quarter. YCW into attack. We've played a minute. The score remains the same. It's YCW 46, Sorrento 1. Rye Hotel scoreboard. Ball back into play. Chance for McLeod, a hand pass and another one back. Here's a chance for YCW to go forward once again. Standing start kick towards full forward. No mark taken. Ball on the ground. A chance for Mazarek on the left foot. He wanted his left foot, but Sorrento defence sort of overcompensated there and allowed him to get onto it, and probably should have done a bit better, actually. He kicked it out of bounds in the full.
Yeah, indeed. And Macklin Rain, gee, he's a great target up forward. Gee, if he gets two mitts on the ball, I reckon he's going to bring a lot of headaches to opposition backmen this season. He's also VFL listed with the Dolphins too, I believe.
Yeah, he's a big boy, big Macklin Rain, that's for sure. Ashim's out there as well. They got a very big side. Well,
he was another first season player at YC last year to go on and win a premiership in his first season. So they continue to breed premiership success down at the YCW. They're unbelievable.
35 years or so playing cricket, have never won one, and blokes have won 7 or 8. I'm jealous.
It's been a phenomenal record, particularly since 2010 with both clubs as well. Sorrento, they've got a fantastic recent record as well, as we said, with under Troy Swartz's coaching and leadership. He played in 6 premierships for Sorrento I think in 10 years.
So we've got a Shepparton free kick given, and I thought the umpire was going to give 50, but not to be. The free kick is going out here for Sorrento. It's going to Marston, who goes in short, and the mark has been taken there, it looks like, by Tapscott out there, who was totally mummified in that first quarter. He had the strapping all around the face there. Kick towards half forward. Mark taken by Corp. He plays on towards Dawes, and Chris Dawes takes the mark in the pocket. Ongarello fell over. If Dawes thought about playing on, but instead he'll kick.
It's not an easy kick this at all from where he is. It's a pretty tight angle, and with being a right footer as well, I think you're going to find it's going to take every bit of his experience to put this one and slot it between the big sticks.
Kick from just about in the bushes there in the right forward pocket here at the Car Street end of the ground, and to say they need this is an absolute understatement.
With a capital U. Jeez, Michael, he's got to kick this.
So Dawes it is for the first goal for Sorrento, and he misses.
Oh, yeah.
He hits the post, in fact. He's kicked both their behinds.
Well, it's a class act. Anyone who walks out of the AFL system, mate, with a premiership medallion, coming back to local football, he's a class above the rest of the field, isn't he?
Too true. Is it opportunity now for Sorrento? It's Mitch Allahan on the right foot, goes towards the goal square. Is this going to be a goal? Bounces through.
That is an unbelievable. No, it didn't. I thought that was through there for a moment.
I thought it bounced through too, and I think Lee Paholke's saying that it possibly did bounce through as well.
Yeah, well, you can't question the goal umpire. He's on the line. But gee, from a distance, that would have been the goal. Definitely the goal of the day so far, but he's going all right. James Hallahan, isn't he? He's playing okay.
Kick out towards half back. Mark taken in front there for Sorrento. They just need to get a bit of pressure on, just try and whittle away this lead. Try and win the quarter is what they'll be hoping for in this second quarter. Bring that margin back even by 15 points if they can do it. Just bring it back to sort of 5-goal margin at half time, something like that. So, shot at goal to take place 60 metres out. It's Mitch Hallahan who goes long. He goes across the face of goal and he goes off target. Through for one behind. So 5 minutes into the second quarter here at Skybus Stadium, which is Car Street in Frankston. And we'll probably still call it Frankston Park, Car Street, whatever, but it is Skybus Stadium, and we are here live this afternoon thanks to Pete and the team, the Mornington Rosebud Telstra stores, and it's been one-way traffic so far. Quick kick out of defence. Mark not taken there for YCW, but they've got time to play on, and they do. Through the agency there of Lovett, who kicks it out of play on the full. And Sorrento once again will go back and have an opportunity to shoot for goal.
Yeah, he was on the wrong side of his body there as far as you know, he was a left foot kick, and his left foot kick naturally hugged the boundary line and went over and out of bounds on the full. So they're having another shot, and they desperately need a goal here, Vossi.
Zach Burns is the man, 40
metres out.
metres
He's been a
out.
good player for them. He's actually been very serviceable in this first quarter and a half. Been one of the shining lights that's actually had his hand on the ball, and particularly from the midfield, because they haven't had too many stars. Yeah, that's for sure.
Tapscott's probably been below Luke Tapscott standards, but we know the quality of him. He'll be back for sure as a kick at goal by Burns. And that's Sorrento's first goal against YCW for I don't know how many days, but probably close to 28 years, roughly 28 and a half years, something like that.
Yeah.
In senior football, Neil.
That's very true.
But a goal, and that is a good goal to get. Zach Burns kicks Sorrento's first goal. They're 1-3-9 and YCW are 7-4-46 on the Rye Hotel scoreboard.
Well, that looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Just when you can see their run and carry, and there's better players are starting to come into the game a bit more now, which is great. And Mitch Hallahan there, he certainly started very well as well in this second quarter, Michael.
Yeah, Mitch is having a very good game. James probably a little bit down on what he has been, but still he works his way into the game. It's an opportunity for Helen. Speak of the man, got the hand pass over towards his brother, who's tackled high.
Gee,
the umpire didn't see that.
That's very harsh. That was a pretty harsh tackle. I was a bit stiff there not to get the free kick, I would have thought.
I would have thought the same thing myself, actually.
Gee, he's just getting up a bit ginger as well.
So
Mitch Hallahan there, once again, got his hands on the ball.
So Macklin Rain gets the ball down for YCW. All the attacking's going to this car straight into the ground. The breeze is picked up, but it's certainly no goal to one end, that's for sure.
Well, that was Tom Langford again. He's run and carry off the back flank.
Byron Barry was tackled. Ball falls through. Angus Wright, he overran the ball. Hand pass out. There's another opportunity for them if they can pick the ball up. I think that hand pass was from Grant Jack. It was towards full forward. Now the kick is...
Oh, he's got the free kick. Chris Dawes here was held there. You could see there was 2-on-1 there. And rightly so, the umpire was right there on the spot. And he's picked out a free kick for holding the man. And Chris Dawes, no doubt he'll kick this from point-blank range.
And, of course, you can watch this game through RPFM YouTube.
Maybe.
The Facebook page, the link will be there. Click on the link and you'll have pictures at home. You've got your smart TV or your phone, whichever way you want. And leave some comments there. Tell us what you think.
Well, that's exactly right, Vossi. YouTube, Facebook. Join us live. You can see us. We've got the cameras down here at Skybus Stadium, the new naming rights for the Frankston Dolphins for the 2018 season. And the ground looks sensational, Michael, isn't it? The surface looks really good.
And Chris Dawes has kicked his first goal, and Sorrento have two. They're 2-3-15, YCW 7-4-46. And all of a sudden, things aren't looking as bad as what they seemed in the first quarter, Neil.
No, definitely not. Well, 2-3-15 to 7-4-46. Well, that's just they're back within, you know, striking range at 5 goals. They'd certainly need a couple more. That's for sure.
And just
looks like they've lifted their level of intensity, Sorrento, and you know they've created a contest, as we said, going man on man and creating a contest. It's a 50-50, you know, percentages, and obviously now they're amongst it.
I'm just looking to see. Ashams must be on the bench because I don't think he's down the forward line, and Macklin Rain's in the ruck. So this is all happening.
He's definitely off the field. Yeah, you can't see him anywhere.
Ryan Williams sort of beating Macklin Rain at the moment in the centre bounce and around the ground to get Sorrento going forward. So here we go once again. Margin back to 31 points. Can Sorrento kick another to put a bit more pressure on?
Well, Kevin Lilac was legged there, as you can see, and he's got the free kick, so coming off the half-back flank.
Kevin Lilac with the ball.
Another multiple premiership player.
Stop! You're making me feel bad, Neil. It's
well,
just,
you know, the facts are that, you know, they're 6- and 7-time premiership players, Michael. We're going to
let
everyone know that.
They are champions of the game, there's no doubt about that. As the ball goes out towards centre wing. Good tackle applied by Gladman.
It's without playing in a premiership. How's that for him? Guys played in 6 and 7, and as we said, with Craig Nankerv, has got I think that's a league record with 8. So he recently announced his retirement.
He did. Boundary throw in. Rain
with Tony Lester.
Williams in the ruck. Here's a chance now for Macklin Rain, who gets the hand pass back towards Lilac, who overran the ball. Now it's a free kick against Kevin Lilac. He went back in to try and atone, but he got into the back of his opponent there in Chad Harris, who plays on and goes towards James Hallahan at half forward. James wearing the pink or orange boots, and no, pink I think actually, and Mitch
iridescent orange.
Mitch is wearing the green one, so we can certainly tell the difference.
They're loud, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think you probably had a shirt like that in probably 1982, did you, Neil?
Michael Voss, come on, mate. You're the king of the shirts, as we know that. Although I did see Toey as well, the early days. He had hair and, gee, no wonder those Hawaiian bright shirts that you wear, Vossie. I thought you instigated that, but I reckon it's Andrew Topun Kelly.
It's a good fashion statement, the old Hawaiian shirt, that's for sure. Our boss knows all about that too. Kick inside attacking 50 and the mark wasn't taking the balls over the line for a boundary throw-in. Left forward pocket, 40 metres out from the YCW goal, who have conceded the only 2 goals in this quarter. The margin is 31 points in the Rye Hotel scoreboard.
Gee, I was down there before the game talking about 1982 and being a Richmond supporter. Michael Ocker, the Richmond president at the time, Ian Wilson was down here. He's a Sorrento man, and I was briefly chatting to him about that. But gee, you should have seen the grin on his face, mate.
Mark
from the 2017 flag. He said we can forget about the disappointment of the 82 season finally.
So Kyle Hutchison with the ball. He took the mark. Quick kick came out. He was in front and he took the mark. He'll go back from 30 metres and should put the goal on the board here for YCW. So Hutchison it is. It's a little bit of a steadying goal, even though its margin will be 37 points. And it's a comfortable lead. But
well, he hasn't moved the goal umpire, so that's straight through the big sticks.
Yeah, straight over the top. The goal umpire's had then through and through for a goal. So margin is back to 37 points here at Tar Street. 8-4-52, plays 2-3-15. You're listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula football.
Mornington Peninsula Brewery love football as much as they love making world-class beer. That's why they're the sponsors of local footy. This season, treat yourself to a round of beer and a pizza at the Brewery Bar. Mornington Peninsula Brewery, 72 Watt Road, Mornington.
Welcome back here to the football at Tar Street, Skybus Stadium. It's a margin of 37 points in favour of YCW, 8-4-52, Sorrento 2 goals, 3-15.
Ryan Santon and Kyle Hutchison, I think, are the best 2 players so far on the field, just in this first half. Michael?
So
had plenty of the ball, and they've just been so damaging and instrumental in their goals.
Williams got the hand pass now, kick towards Hallahan in the centre. It was James. He got the hand pass out and a kick off the ground by Harris. He's got to play the role now of shepherding. Hand pass over the top towards Mitch in the centre. Mitch Hallahan, a hand pass to his brother James. And Sorrento looks so good with the 2 Hallahan boys getting their hands on the football. Poor kick by James Hallahan, though. It's taken by Ongarello.
As you said before, he's just fleet of foot, just too quick for Chris Dawes once the ball comes to ground.
Left foot kick down the line towards attacking 50 it was, and the umpire says, I'm going to ball it up. About 60 metres out from the YCW goal. 37 points is the margin.
Had a great debut season, didn't he, Christian Ongarello last year, coming over and being named as the full-back in the team of the year and obviously going on to ultimately win the premiership.
Yes, he did, as Wright just got the ball taken off him there.
Won a premiership at Dramana too, I believe.
Down the line for Sorrento towards half forward. The mark is not paid. Ongarello off the pack goes with a kick down the line, and the mark has been taken there by Lilac, who can play on Kev. Lilac goes towards half forward. Mark has been taken there for Sorrento. They can now turn in defence into attack, but that's a poor kick.
Yeah,
Put
Daniel
it straight
Grant.
into the middle of his 2 Sorrento players, 1 YCW player, and the poor kick from Sorrento enabled YCW to turn the ball over. Now Coughlin's got it on centre wing. Jai it is. Jai Coughlin goes towards half forward, and that's a poor kick by his standards. The mark has been taken there by Ryan Williams in defence for Sorrento, who gets the defensive hand pass off. He gets it off towards his teammate there in Langford, I think it was, who got the ball out towards centre wing. It's taken by Wright, who goes in short. Not a good kick though, but they're still working their way forward here. The ball's inside attacking 50. The umpire has said it's a free kick, I think, for
Luke Tapscott.
Too high to Luke Tapscott. So
well, he's really put in this quarter. You can see he's put his body on the line as he always does, but trying to lead by example. He's kicked that to Nick Corp on the wing.
And Sorrento looking to try and get another goal on the board here, but not to be.
Another turnover.
Oh, they're just butchering the ball, and here's an opportunity now with Butland in the forward pocket for YCW, who will go back. And Josh Butland, I've got him as 2 goals in the opening quarter.
Yeah, he was their leading goal kicker for the season. Another breakout 2017 player. He came up from the ranks of their under-19s and already got a premiership to his name and leading goal kicker. And there's another one, Michael.
Shot at goal is a goal. So that 2 goals by Sorrento has been snuffed out by YCW. Margin back out to 43 points. YCW 9-4-58. Sorrento 2 goals, 3-15. That's on the Rye Hotel scoreboard. As James Hallahan just come into the bench. And Zach Burns has not got the bright orange ones, but he certainly has got a bit of orange happening in his boots. You're listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula football.
Hi, I'm Jack, and my dad is Pete from the Mornington and Rosebud Telstra stores. NBN is coming to the Mornington Peninsula, and our team is here to help. We can answer all your questions and get you ready for the NBN so you can stream like a dream, upload a truckload, and enjoy high-speed entertainment. So drop in and see the team at the Telstra stores in Mornington and Rosebud.
Or call us now on 1300 My Telstra. That's 1300 698 357.
Welcome back here to Frankston Park. Skybus Stadium. It's a hard thing to get used to calling it the new name.
That is, Michael. Yep, the naming rights sponsor for 2018.
And
Skybus Stadium. Bit of a tongue twister.
Kicked by Lilac it was towards half forward. What's happening here? He's got a 50-metre penalty. So Kev Lilac's got an opportunity to kick a goal if he gets far enough back. Now I'm just looking to see how far this umpire's going to take.
35?
Yeah, kick from probably 40.
Yeah, 35, 40.
Kev Lilac's got an opportunity to kick. I don't reckon he kicked a goal last year. And he'd be getting dizzy now thinking that I'm so close to a goal here, and I reckon he'll tell everyone in the ground probably 5 times over if he kicks this.
Curse. I think you better ease up there, Vossi. So he's coming in now.
Not wasting too much time. 35 out. Has the shot. He puts it through for a goal, and Kev Lilac celebrates. I don't reckon he's kicked a goal in a long time, and he is going to enjoy that. Well done to Kev. Good guy too. 10-4-64, plays 2-3-15. And the margin is 49 points. And, well, when the defender who defends kicks a goal, the day's going against you, and it is for Sorrento at the moment.
Well, he's been solid in defence, right from the opening bounce, hasn't he, Michael? And another one of those seasoned campaigners at YCW who leads by example, mate, doesn't he? Drives the back half of for the team, and he sets the example.
Ball thrown up by the umpire. 49 points is the margin. Just when you think Sorrento was starting to get back into the game, YCW have put the foot down once again.
Well, Ash Eames has been back on the field, and it just seems coincidental, isn't it, Michael, that since he's been back on, they've kicked 2 goals. Absolutely.
No, he's a dominant force in the middle of the ground, and no disrespect to Macklin Rain, but they're so much better with Ash Eames in there, that is for sure. Here's a kick out towards the far side of the ground, taken by Daniel Grant, who went in short towards his teammate there, but not to be. Over the line for a boundary throw-in, and that was Jaden Tompkins. Margin 49 points. We're just about to hit time on in the second quarter. YCW 10-4-64, Sorrento 2-3-15. At half-time, if you stay around, you'll probably see a couple of dashing figures there on TV at half-time, in Neil and myself. Just talking about the game and talking about what we might think might happen in the second half and what Sorrento need to do. They certainly need to kick a couple of goals before half-time. There's a mark, and it's taken by Dawes, 40 out.
Yeah, he needs to kick this too. He's certainly within range. It was a good mark he let out there. Typical Chris Dawes, and you'd expect him to follow through here and put it through from about 35 metres, I reckon.
So
kick it to the Car Street end, as you said earlier, Vossi.
Yeah, if anything, that's probably got a very small breeze, very small going to that end.
Breeze, it's swirling. It's only slight though.
Yeah, it's certainly it's mere zephyr out there, I would have thought. Has the shot, Chris Dawes. He has put it into the post.
Again. That's his second poster.
7/8 of the way up that one. So Chris Dawes, 2 goals, 5-17. Sorrento, in fact, 2-4-16. Sorrento, YCW 10-4-64. That scoreboard is very quick to turn the goals and points over. That is for sure.
Yeah, well, 20-minute mark, and as you can see, the momentum that they were gaining, the last two goals that YC just pegged them back, just brought them back to, I think, well, 64-16, isn't it? So what do you got? 49 points, is it? 48 points. Danny Tech maths there, Vossi. Sorry, mate.
Short pass by Santon, mark taken. Right below us by Lovett. Not by Lovett, by Mazarek, in fact it was, who goes towards half forward. Drops a little bit short of that. Mark taken on centre wing by Brigden, who goes in short. Mark taken, James Hallahan, defensive kick back towards defensive 50. Mark taken by Langford, he can go towards half forward. Going kick up and taking the mark there. A good mark taken by Marston.
Yeah,
he gets a
mark.
hand pass over the top. An opportunity here for Sorrento, but they fluffed it up there through the agency there of James Hallahan. That could be a tackle for too high, perhaps. No, holding the ball.
Well, they coughed it up, didn't they? They had the opportunity at half forward there to go on and convert, and they coughed it up.
McLeod goes from 60. He tries to bounce one through or try and get Minching to run onto it. That's a free kick to Minchington, I would have thought.
Too high in
he gets the ball out off the ground. A goal. And that is a goal kicked by Riley Hodson. And I reckon that was a free kick to Minchington. He'll probably be aggrieved at that. But nevertheless, it's a goal to YCW, and they're up by 54 points here in the match of the day. 11-4-70, plays 2-4-16. And you're listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula football.
Ever thought of yourself as a powerful member of your local community? As a customer of a Bendigo Community Bank branch, that's exactly who you are. For when you choose to bank with the Bendigo Bank, it triggers a cycle of great outcomes for your local community. Banking with a community bank means your community shares in the bank's income. Your community then decides which projects that income is spent on. So let's make great things happen. Drop into your nearest Bendigo Community Bank branch or visit bendigobank.com.au. A proud station sponsor.
And YCW the kick out by Hutchison towards half forward. It's taken by Potter. He's under pressure, Ryan Potter. He got the ball out. And that was almost a throw to Daniel Grant, but he kicked the ball straight into his YCW opponent. The ball bounces out of play for a boundary throw-in.
Well, he's been serviceable off the back flank, Daniel Grant. He's been one of the guys who's had a pretty decent first half without being spectacular, but he's certainly been solid.
Boundary umpire throws the ball back into play. Taken by McLeod, a hand pass over the top. Mazarek, he tried to run onto it, but the numbers were pressuring him out of the contest there, and the ball gets hand passed over towards the boundary line in front of Daniel Grant over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Well, it's a 9-goal ball game again, Michael, and as we said off air, that the hard work in that first half of the second quarter, they've, you know, all that effort now has been gobbled up with the last 3 goals scored by Frankston YCW, the Beach Street end.
Yeah, notoriously, the Tar Street end's always the end to kick goals at this ground.
Yeah, with Skybus Stadium. It is a tongue twister, isn't it, mate?
It's just hard to get used to saying it. By the time we get used to it, we probably won't call here again until the finals, Neil. So.
Well, Frankston have got their first home game here next week. They're taking on the Essendon Bombers in the VFL. So it's nice that they're back into the VFL competition, and Gary Buccaneer and all his hard-working club people have done a fantastic job.
It is great to see them back, and hopefully they're here to stay now. Boundary umpire throws the ball back into play. Rain in the ruck. Ball comes to ground, taken by Hallahan. James, in fact, that was James, the orange boots, and he was penalised for holding the ball.
Again with the ball. Can he kick it from here, Michael?
No. No,
sure?
No, I'm absolutely positive.
He's right on the 50-metre arc. This might test him.
I tell you what, he's going back as if he's having a shot. He's 52 out. He's going to have the shot. And I tell you what, he's put it through for a goal.
2 goals.
52 metres. He's covered the distance, no problem at all. There was no one on the line for Sorrento.
Well, that's goal of the day already. So Kevin Lilac, he's come off the back flank and he's kicked 2 sausage rolls in this second quarter.
I reckon if someone was on the line, I reckon that could have been touched there, but no one was on the line. That's poor by Sorrento.
Poor defence, yeah. You've always got to try and get at least one ruckman, one big man onto the final line, don't you?
Sorry, Kev. Sorry I ever doubted you there, mate.
He's gone, Michael, there's no way I'm not going to take this shot. I'm only 52 metres out.
So, Tappy, if you're listening, he'll tell you later. He'll probably send you a message during the week. I'm a forward now. Play me in the forward line. And I'll kick you goals every week. I'll kick you at least 2 a week. He's doing a fantastic job at the moment. Sorrento out of the middle towards...
Forget about the half-back man, mate. I'm no longer just a defender, mate. I'm a midfielder, goal-scoring midfielder.
Lee Paholke basically hasn't touched it so far, and they went to him then, but the ball beat him out of play for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, well, he's someone who does got to lift in the second half because, as we all know, there is one guy who does have the X factor around the goals. So he definitely needs a lift in the second half.
So boundary umpire throws
too good a player not to.
Back into play.
He was the competition team of the year full forward in division, leading goal kicker for the competition. As you said, so far been nullified. So yeah, they'll go in at half time with a few headaches to look and see what they're going to do to come out in the second half to be a lot more competitive, Michael. That's Sorrento. The
first 2 goals this quarter, Sorrento, but YCW have answered with the last 5. That's a tackle high, surely. Yeah, tackle high it is. And the tackle high there on Jake DePasquale, who goes towards full forward, going up Paholke.
Speaking of, he nearly got his mitts on it then, didn't he? But
still hasn't touched it.
As you can see, look, there's four defenders around him. That's the respect that the YCW boys are showing Lee Paholke there deep in the forward line.
So boundary umpire to throw the ball back into play.
Chris Dawes will take this tap out by the looks with Ash Eames.
Hope you're enjoying the pictures. If you're watching at home or you're watching, you might be out at a barbecue.
James Hallahan shot at goal.
And goes high with the kick. It's off target. If you're out at a barbecue or you might be at your mother-in-law's and you couldn't get to the football and you're spewing and you're just taking time to go out and look at your phone, and I hope you're enjoying the pictures wherever you may be.
Yeah, on Facebook and YouTube. So as you said, Michael, not only live but just on the airways at RPP.
The techs are doing a fantastic job here bringing the pictures to you. So I hope you're enjoying them. I'm sure you will be. Here's an opportunity now for Lovett with the ball for YCW. Goes towards half forward, goes towards Big Macklin Rain. One-on-one contest. He's got Butland inside attacking 50.
That's a beautiful kick.
Yeah, he's going to cover the distances. He probably needed to go to Butland rather. It enabled Brigden to go back and knock the ball through for a point.
It was every bit of 50 metres.
He needed a bit of bounce on that ball, and it just sat up and enabled Brigden just to knock that one through, which he did. Margin 60 points exactly.
Well, they talk very highly of Macklin Rain, labelled the big source. He's on the VFL list this year, and as well as a number of his teammates down there at the Dolphins. They've got over 6 or 7 players that are VFL listed. It's incredible to think that you could have that much depth in a local team, Michael.
Oh, look, they're a powerful, powerful side, and they're the favourites this year, even before a ball was kicked, and they're showing no reason why they're not anything but the favourites this year at the moment, even though it's only half a season in. That is half time in the match of the day. YCW 12-5-77 at half time. Sorrento 2-5-17. We'll take a break, come back, and if you come back after the break, switch onto YouTube and you'll be able to see us talking about the game, myself and Neil Custis, and you're listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula Football.
Hi, I'm Jack, and my dad is Pete from the Mornington and Rosebud Telstra stores. NBN is coming to the Mornington Peninsula, and our team is here to help. We can answer all your questions and get you ready for the NBN so you can stream like a dream, upload a truckload, and enjoy high-speed entertainment. So drop in and see the team at the Telstra stores in Mornington and Rosebud.
Or call us now on 1300 My Telstra. That's 1300 698 357.
Ever thought of yourself as a powerful member of your local community? As a customer of a Bendigo Community Bank branch, that's exactly who you are. For when you choose to bank with the Bendigo Bank, it triggers a cycle of great outcomes for your local community. Banking with a community bank means your community shares in the bank's income. Your community then decides which projects that income is spent on. So let's make great things happen. Drop into your nearest Bendigo Community Bank branch or visit bendigobank.com.au. A proud station sponsor.
Jalna is an Australian-owned second-generation family business that makes us very fussy about what we put into every delicious creamy pot of Jalna yogurt. For 55 years, we've insisted that it's free from artificial sweeteners, preservatives, gelatin and colouring. In fact, anything unnatural. Only Goulburn Valley milk, pure ingredients and friendly cultures, hot set in the traditional manner. Simple and pure the way food should be. From our family to yours, Jalna, a little pot of purity, a station sponsor.
lads. Come in, come on, come in. We have a new import. He's special, well hopped, and can go a lot longer than you lot. Hop culture. Hop culture. Pale, lager, brown, IPA. Look after him, okay?
Thanks, Coach. I'd just like to thank the teacher, Harry Smith, my mum, my dad, the man on the tram, the nana, my dog Kenny, the girlfriend.
Mornington Peninsula Brewery love football as much as they love making world-class beer. That's why they're the sponsors of local footy. This season, treat yourself to a round of beer and a pizza at the Brewery Bar. Mornington Peninsula Brewery, 72 Watt Road, Mornington.
Welcome back down here to Sky Stadium at Frankston. The half-time here at the big clash between the 2017 premiers, Frankston YCW, far too good over Sorrento, who was the 2017 premiers also, and then the Pean division. We're proudly brought to you by Pete and the team at the Telstra stores, both in Rosebud as well as Mornington. And Michael Voss, what did you make out of that first half, mate?
It's all YCW at the moment, to be perfectly honest, and they are just an absolute juggernaut of a team. They really are, and obviously we've heard all about this rivalry. This game's been built up for a long time, but right now it is a fizzer. In terms of the actual contest, it is a fizzer. It's all one-way traffic. Sorrento need to get back some sort of respectability into their game in the second half, because at the moment they are being thoroughly beaten at the contest. YCW just have this knack, Neil. They just kick it into traffic, and that one player will just come through against numbers, and he'll just absolutely win out more often than not. It's an amazing, I won't say habit. It's a trait that they've got, and they're managing to do it quite a bit. And well, as far as the Mornington Peninsula Brewery best on ground is concerned, I'll tell you what, you'd have to say that Kev Lilac, that second quarter, he was on fire, big Kev.
Kevin Lilac, well, he's kicked 2 goals, which, as you've mentioned, is the first time in a long time. But I'd say Kyle Hutchison at this stage, and Ryan Santon's another one. He's played. Look, there's a number of IC midfielders you could probably put in that category, and not too many Sorrento boys, which is on the other side of the fence. Other than, is it? Just trying to think. Mitch Hallahan. He's been very good in his first game for the club.
James was good, and also Zach Burns in that first half was pretty good also. But other than that, they have been pretty bad. Bregton, I suppose, has been all right, considering the ball's been getting down there a fair bit. Bregton's been all right in defence, but
Ryan Williams, the big man in the ruck, he's been serviceable. He's had 2 very good big men to compete against, and as we said, Macklin Rain, he's been pretty another contributor, as well as Ash Eames. I thought in that second quarter when Ash Eames was off the field, that's when they gained some momentum, Sorrento that is, and then when he actually came back off the interchange bench, they kicked 2 quick goals. So.
And just looking out at the crowd there at the moment, look, it's a good crowd, but it's not a great crowd out there, and I think you're probably a little bit disappointed, considering this game's had so much publicity. I know it's Easter Sunday and all that, but I think you'll find that a little bit disappointing, the crowd, considering, even though it's probably a good 3,000 out there.
Well, so certainly it's a good crowd. I mean, it's a great crowd. But maybe the anticipation and the expectation. Well, when you think we've had a number of other games of football played over the course of the Easter break, we had 2 games on Good Friday played between Division 1, and then we also had another game played down there. Dramana took on Rye, or hosted Rye. And then yesterday we had another couple of big games as well. So it's been a massive round 1 for Division 1. And here, to complete round 1, the 2 current premiers from the Pean and Peninsula. And as you can see, there's a 10-goal gap. We can see a 10-goal difference on the scoreboard, and rightly so. When you say about intensity, even when right from the opening bounce, they had 2 goals on the board within the opening few moments. And from that moment forwards, they've just dominated. They've continued on from where they were last year. The juggernaut at YCW.
They really have, and yeah, the Rye Hotel scoreboard, one-way traffic, 77-17 at the moment. And of course, if you're at home at the moment, you can watch Neil and I at the moment live on RPP through YouTube. So if you're there, sort of tune in, give us a view, tell us what you think. The tech's doing a wonderful job here and bringing us all these great pictures.
Congratulations,
and it's going to be a fantastic year on RPP FM football in 2018 with the coverage going right throughout the year. And we look forward to bringing you the pictures right throughout the season. And we couldn't do it without, of course, Pete and the team of the Mornington Rosebud Telstra stores, could we?
Absolutely. Well, they're another one of the long-serving supporters of RPP FM. And as you said, you've got the Rye Hotel on the scoreboard. They've always been long-term servants of RWP and local football as well down on the Mornington Peninsula and Mornington Peninsula Brewery. So, you know, they always give us the best on-ground trophy, and then, you know, here we are wearing the Bendigo Bank shirt. So, what more can we say about Gary Sandon and all of his, Gary Sanford and all the staff at the Bendigo Bank's branches right across the Mornington Peninsula. They're the biggest supporter of local community sport.
They really are. And look, we've spoken a bit about this game. Let's just talk about some of the other football that happened over the weekend. And obviously on Good Friday, we saw the Frankston Bombers come up. Frankston come up to play in Division 1. Played Mount Eliza. Mount Eliza winning that one by 2 points.
2 points. Well, as Towie said all summer, that you know, all avid football fans on that peninsula were looking forward to the dominant teams from Division 2 coming up, and it's proven with the scores. As you said, 2-point win to Mount Eliza over the Bombers. I know they jumped them in the first quarter. That's Mount Eliza, and obviously just too good on the day. Then we had the other game there with the Pines took on, or they hosted Seaford, and Seaford actually got up and won that game as well in a tight contest. That was 5 points. So when you look at those two games, we also had Edie Asp and Bomb Beach, last year's grand finalists, and they actually got beat 33 points. Edie Asp, one of the teams, no doubt, who've recruited well in the off-season. I see, was it Lockie Batten, one of their recruits? He kicked 3 goals, one of the new recruits for Edie Asp. And
Edithvale, of course, Bomb Beach were the grand finalists, as you said, from last year. And
well, Steve Hughes, I'm sure he'll be disappointed. He would have expected his boys to have been a lot more competitive than that.
Yeah, I think a few times they played, I think Edithvale got the better of them on Good Friday over the time as we look back at, obviously we saw yesterday, you mentioned Seaford winning over Pines. We also saw Mornington go down to Rosebud, and Rosebud winning by 10 points. Their shots at goal, they had 17 scoring shots to Mornington's 22. But Rosebud winning the game by 10 points. And of course in Division 2 on Friday, we saw a 23-point victory for Dramana over Rye. A game that was a very good crowd in attendance on Good Friday. And that competition is going to be created a huge interest in that this year, considering that Sorrento aren't there, and it'll open the opportunity for a few more teams to perhaps get that elusive flag, as you touched on, as we're joined again by Lockie Kelly.
It was a very good win by Rosebud. Well, they kicked 10 goals straight. They were 10 goals won at three-quarter time, and in the end, ultimately 12 goals, 5-77, defeating Mornington 9 goals, 13-67. And we all said on the football show Saturday morning that with Goose going back to his homeland and how he was jumping out of his skin, he would have expected to go down to Rosebud and get the chocolates.
And of course, we're joined by Short Pass as well.
Welcome, boys.
Thank you
very much, Neil. Thanks, Rossi.
So, Adam, thanks for joining us, mate. How are you going?
Yeah, look, as well as could be expected, Neil, I suppose, when you're presented, mate, with you know, such a thing. You've got a band together, and that's what the Kelly family are doing, mate, every single day. As Locke said earlier, Drew has.
Keep going. Yep.
Try that one.
So Andrew has his up-down, his good days and his bad days, I suppose. So we, whether it be his good days, you know, we're all there to laugh and celebrate with him, I suppose, in a sense, and then his bad days, we're there to uplift him, Neil. So, you know, it's good. It's really good, mate.
And what about the Kelly gang, the three of you guys? What can you actually say about, like, with Andrew being the leader? And
he likes to think he's the leader, I think.
Well, he's definitely, you know, he is the leader. Well, he is the leader. And with yourself, Short Pass, yep. And now with Lockie, the next generation coming through. Gee, that must make your dad feel pretty proud, I think, Lockie.
Well, I'd like to hope so.
With you joining in the ranks, mate. And it's not just you two guys as well, but as we said earlier with Jack Heverum, he's another protege come through from Towie. He's now on SEN, got the 7 o'clock time slot for himself. So
yeah,
he's front
really
and centre,
well
and the biggest story in sport we've seen in a long, long time here, which has taken place this last week. And he's over there front and centre with James Sutherland, the CEO of Cricket Australia.
Yeah, exactly right.
So his tentacles are reaching everywhere.
Yeah, no, he's done very well for himself, hasn't he, Jack Heverum? Unfortunately, Dad, knew Dad quite well, and Dad got him on board. And, yeah, sent him along the way, but I mean, yeah, he's done well with me. I mean, obviously, I've been brought up around local footy. I'm sure Uncle Ad's been the same with, you know, with the brotherhood. Dad's obviously a bit old fit, 10 years older than you?
Yeah, 11 years older than me. So I remember, you know, going to stay at, be sitting in the back of the van. Very fond days. Tangles would be running the boundary. Pinky and Andrew Towie would be at the front of the van, and it's, you know, I was doing the AFL scores, so you know, it was awesome.
And what about obviously you two? We've spoken to you both briefly. What about your mum and your sister, Locke? How are they going?
Yeah, Mum's. I mean, it's just how positive he is with the support we've had. It's keeping them positive and keeping them going. Mum's there every day. She's starting work at around 11:30, so she gets there in the morning and does everything she needs to. Has breakfast with him, gets him showered, that kind of thing, and then finishes work at around 3:30. So, you know, back pretty quick. I finish work at around 2:30 as well. So, and I mean, obviously, my ma and pa, Uncle Ad's, Mum and Dad, they're in at around 1 o'clock and they're till 4 o'clock. So, he's always occupied. You know, we're always with him. So yeah, I mean, mum and my sister's doing as well as they can be, I guess. We've all just got to stay positive. You know, it's just taking it day by day. And
Towie's also mentioned his parents, you know, Shane, his father, and mum, Max.
Yep, Max.
How are they going? Yeah, so how are they coping as well?
Yeah, no, they're doing really well. I mean, like I had a chat to you earlier on, we get to see him every day. So to us, it's nearly normal. Nothing's really changed because, I mean, he's 5 minutes down the road from us. He's only half an hour down the road from Ma and Pa. So everything stayed, you know, reasonably normal for us because, I mean, we see him every day, so we don't see a lot of change. Whereas I guess,
other than visiting the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, apart from the fact he's in hospital, but I mean, it's still the same old dad. He's a joking, laughing self. Gets in a bit of pain every now and then, but you know, that's when we let him have a little nap and just stuff like that. So, you know, Ma and Pa are doing really well. They're coping well, I guess.
Yep. Again, Neil, under the circumstances, I suppose, you know, it's never really any good to, you know, to see anyone, I suppose, laid up. So, you know, and especially with Andrews, what Towie's going through at the moment. So, you know, we're all staying positive, mate, and that's the best we can do.
Is it just the two of you, or is there?
Nah, mate. So my skin blister, or Towie and my skin blister, Tracy. So she's
where does she live?
She's down south as well, so she's in Rye as well.
So the family's all close.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, mate, when we're
putting,
a silly question. Are you
all Collingwood? Yeah, mate. Yep.
We are, of course.
You're not a Kelly unless you're Collingwood.
Mum's Saints, but she's just quite fond of Collingwood quietly.
Have you been surprised and taken aback with, obviously, the news, but the response, particularly via the social media, with just how far and how widespread Andrew's respect? As you know, in these circumstances where, like, just following social media and the level of support has been uplifting.
The true amount of number, I mean, has been crazy. I mean, we don't realise how far he reaches out, but I mean, not that we expect the support, but we knew that there was going to be a lot of people behind us. He's been president and secretary of both Langwarrin Football Club and Cricket Club, so, you know, they've always been on our backs, just, you know, letting us know if there's something that needs to be done, they're there. And obviously 3RPP, you know, Dad's been a massive part of them. Newspapers, Dad's been massive parts. So, not that we expect it, but we knew that it was going to be there. But again, we're so appreciative.
When it actually happens, I think, Locke, isn't it? It's a different story. So you don't expect it. You think it may happen, but then when it actually does happen, that's when it becomes overwhelming, you know, and just the outpour of love and support and just, you know, wanting him to fight. And so he honestly does. He's not just saying it when he says that he'll go through those messages. He goes through those messages at least once a day, where, you know, if he's feeling a bit down, he'll go through those messages and you know, it'll just give him a bit of fight again, you know.
Well, as you mentioned with his beloved Langwarrin, must have been very pleasing for the senior cricket team to get the flag last weekend. And congratulations to everyone involved at Langwarrin.
Awesome,
and I know really your dad has been a former president, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And Towie, hopefully that certainly helped lift your spirits, you know, as well as the family and the Langwarrin faithful. Like, as you know, like, you've lived and breathed, well, Andrew certainly has, Langwarrin. He's been through and through for
Locke with his
for
junior
a long
days.
Time.
And, he coached me as a junior down at Langy as well, so he's definitely been a massive part. I mean, he's been all around, all around the peninsula. He's played a big part at Rye, played at Mornington, I'm pretty sure. So
even the Tiger Sharks, like with the overs.
Yeah, exactly right. Won the league goal kicking at the Tiger Sharks.
So you know, with his connections there with a lot of guys through the fraternity, it looks like we're about to resume that.
Yeah, no worries, boys.
Please stay.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, Lockie, if you want to call, and as well as Adam here, please come round and we'll continue on.
No worries, boys. Hopefully, Vossi, the Sorrento boys can put on a little bit more fight in this half.
Be a fair while, Loxton, if they had a beating like this, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, we know what they're like, don't we, Vossi? Their heads drop pretty quick.
They really did, and they just need to come out and try and take something out of this second half, because at the moment, it's all YCW as they get the first kick out of the middle. The margin is 60 points in case you have tuned in. Here's an opportunity. They'll get a goal out of the centre square. It took less than 10 seconds. That is a goal, and that is a goal kicked for Frankston YCW. I've just grabbed my record there, and it was kicked through by Wagner, and that took less than 10 seconds, and that was quick.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where they've fallen apart, isn't it? Straight through that midfield there. I mean, Ames has just been dominant today. We know Williams was a strong ruckman last year, but I can tell you right now, he certainly never came up against a bloke like Ash Eames or Macklin Rain. Even Macklin Rain is a second ruckman. He's a monster of a man. So, yeah, no, they've been carved up through the middle. The midfielders of Sorrento certainly aren't used to running defensively, so it's certainly going to be an awakening for them.
When Ames was on the bench, that's when Williams got on top, although he did win that contest there in the ruck. It's taken away here for Sorrento by Gardner towards full forward. That might be a free kick, is it? Not to be. I thought Dawes might have got a free kick for interference here, not to be. Gladman's got it on the right foot. He goes with a kick towards Burns. Burns and Coughlin. And Burns came off the worst of that. He's sort of winded a little bit. He's up, but he's hobbling a little bit. It seemed to cop it around the chest, but he's certainly not got the stuffing knocked out of him a little bit there. Still an opportunity for Sorrento on the right foot. Hallahan inside attacking 50. Looking there for Dawes. Eames was in the way. Dawes with a high kick towards the top of the goal square and knocking the ball through for a behind there. And that is Sorrento's first score of the second half. And that was Cody Hennis who put that through for a behind. So the margin is 65 points. Short pass.
Yeah, look, it's as Locke and I were saying through the half-time break there before we come up. It's really interesting to see that that Sorrento have been tested through the through the core of the ground. It's good to see that YC bringing it to them.
Yeah, they certainly are. They've got they've still got the quality there. Hutchison, one of the best players on the ground, got the kick down towards half forward now. Quick kick by Macklin Rain inside attacking 50. It's taken though by Hallahan. He's got time to steady. He goes out towards his teammate there in Langford, who takes the mark right below us. Here in the OB unit here at Frankston Park.
This is really where they're falling apart, isn't it, Vossi? They certainly haven't had a bloke like Ash Eames standing at centre-half forward in the way of all their plays.
There's an opportunity now for Gardner. He gets a hand pass across towards Hallahan, who went in short. Dawes has got he's a long way out from goal. Chris Dawes, he's 65 metres out. He goes towards centre-half forward. No mark was taken. Ball still in that attacking area, about 35 out from the Sorrento goal. In fact, it's holding the ball. Free. Holding the ball decision. And
YC's free. Defensive 50.
Short pass, mark taken by Eames. Probably 38 years of age, Locke, but he is just going so strong at the moment.
He never stops. I mean, he's a copper too, so I'm sure he'd carry a fair bit of fitness over from being a policeman.
Depends how long he's been a copper for, Locke.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, a very good guy for a copper too. So, mark taken by McLeod. As we say good afternoon to the boys and girls in blue, that's for sure. Hope they're having a good day as well.
They've got your number plates, Vossi.
Yeah, they do too. They do too. Here's an opportunity for Coughlin. He lost control, a hand pass. Overran Daniel Grant there. He had to apply the tackle, but it was too high on his opponent. He tried to go back in, but the free kick was already given.
And 50, Vossi.
And Ben Wagner, who kicked the first goal of the quarter, he'll kick the second goal of the quarter, 4 minutes in. And the margin after this kick will be 71 points.
Yeah, it's not looking good, Vossi. It's been quite disappointing on Sorrento's behalf. I mean, we know they're quite a front-running side. And we knew that if YC did kick away like this, that their heads were going to drop and they were going to start making silly decisions. But just the simple mistakes that they've been making with skill errors and everything. I mean, it's been very, very disappointing to watch, and I'm sure for the Sorrento camp, it's been even more disappointing.
Wagner the shot, Wagner the goal, and this could be 100 points before before we know it here at the moment, boys. 71 points is the margin. And YCW well and truly in control. And Seaford, who play YCW next week, they'd be here and they'd be sitting here just thinking, wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, they probably are thinking wow, but they're probably also looking at Sorrento thinking even more wow. You know,
Yeah,
what they've produced today has been certainly below than what we expected from them.
Well, what we've seen too, like and Vosky, I haven't seen Sorrento play like this for quite some time.
Yeah, definitely.
So to see them play like today and YCB going, geez, why did they come up? You know, just right now it's not making much sense. We know that they're there and they've got it in them, but they just seemed a little bit disorganised today. I think they've been beaten at the defensive footy.
Yeah, well, I mentioned that at quarter time too, that they just didn't look like a team.
No.
I mean, you look at them over the past few years, especially last year when they won the premiership, that they looked a lot more well-oiled and well-coached. So
they knew what they were doing before they did it, like.
Yeah, exactly right. And I mean, what happened the pre-season? Obviously, Blackers started with them and didn't finish with them. So, I mean, Tapscott probably would have changed things up as well. So there'd probably be organisation issues with game plans, etc.
Yep.
So yeah, to me, I mean, with a couple of new faces and a couple of faces gone, they just don't look like they've quite found themselves as a team.
So do you give them a time?
I mean, you've got to give them
a month.
You've got to give them a few weeks, especially. You've got to at least give you. I mean, Tapscott, has been there for a long period of time, but I'm sure he was probably taught. He's probably given them a different game plan to what Blackers has used. So
well, we know that
they haven't had all pre-season with a new game plan,
true.
so you've got to give them a month. I mean, they've got a side full of superstars, but they're not a superstar side just as yet.
25 out, Chris Dawes misses. He's missed 2 or 3 like that this afternoon. Story of their day.
He has been disappointing, 2-7, probably 2-8 now. So they haven't taken advantage of their opportunities, but the opportunities they've had, it's been rushed, it's been free kicks. So, I mean, they've been under a lot of pressure, Vossi.
They certainly have, and YCW just continue to go in, and they're just ruthless around the contest. So once they sense blood, they go.
Well, they're big. I mean, they're big stage players, a lot of them as well, aren't they? They all step up to the big stage, and today they've had Sorrento come up to their stage, and they've showed them who's boss.
Absolutely. As 14-5-89 plays 2-7-19 is the score. 7 minutes into the third quarter. And the winners so far in round 1, Seaford, Rosebud, Edithvale, Aspendale and Mount Eliza. And YCW will put their name onto the winners list. There's an opportunity now for Lilac, who's kicked 2 goals in the first half. Kev Lilac, and now just tries a little bit of a shimmy sort of kick, gets it towards Byron Barry. But I haven't sort of called Byron Barry's name too much. He probably hasn't had to do that much, to be perfectly honest. They've been so good without him. And the umpire says, I'm going to let play go on. I thought he was going to ball it up, but not to be. That's going to be a kick towards the boundary line. It's taken there for YCW and a hand pass back towards Lovett. He gets a hand pass back, and now a quick kick down the line towards centre wing. Minchington can go. He went, his opponent didn't, and able to get 5 metres on his opponent. Kick towards Butland. Josh Butland in the centre of the ground, attacking side of. He's 70 metres out from goal. He goes towards his teammate there at Angus Wright, who goes at goal. He's off target. He goes towards Rain and sticks one mid up, but the ball's off his hands and through for a behind. So YCW up to 14-6-90 on the Rye Hotel scoreboard. Sorrento 2-7-19.
They've just been so strong and composed off that half-back flank, haven't they? I mean, with the like of Byron Barry, Ryan Sand running off there as well. Jacob Chevley, who's been in their side last year, but they stay so composed. And Sorrento certainly not running both ways at the moment. Strong mark from Corp.
He's one that needs to get his hands on the ball, but let's face it, the ball really hasn't got down there too much, and he hasn't played a lot in the 50, I dare say. It's been Doors predominantly down there. Corp goes towards centre wing, ball off the pack. Harris couldn't keep the ball in play. Ball over the line for a boundary throw in.
What do you do now, Sorrento, Vossi? I mean, obviously the game's well and truly over. Do you change things up? I mean, you got Langford off half-back, who's probably one of their strongest ball collectors and strongest ball users. Do you take him off half-back, and same with Hallahan? Do you just put him in the middle and run the gauntlet?
They've got to get their hands on the ball. So when they were going all right in the second quarter, that first 10 minutes or so, the two Hallahans had their hands on the ball. So that's probably where they can go okay, but they've just got to try and get some respectability at the moment.
There's no way Mitch Allahan's fit. From all reports I've heard that he's been overseas in here and there through pre-season. I mean, he's strong and he's an ox out of those centre clearances, but he's on the bench far too often, so he's clearly not fit. And from all reports, he probably won't play all year. He likes to go overseas and have a muck around, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But then players like 35, he's not even on the list. Oh, there's Ethan King. Like, he didn't play a game for him last year in the ones, and he's running through their midfield. Matt Dabrowski as well in their twos. So when you got players like Tom Langford and both the Hallahans, you just need to, and especially in regard to this game, you just need to. I mean, you see there, Langford gets the kick out of the stoppage, straight down Paholke's throat, goal. You know, that's just what Sorrento can do. And if they've got that week in, week out, quarter by quarter, then that's what's going to happen. But you can see Langford will probably run back to the half-back flank and Hallahan back to the half-back flank.
So reset rather than stick with what they've just done, because they take that not even 3 minutes, a minute and a half of possession of the Sharks football. They took the game on.
Exactly right, and that's what they've got to do.
And then they've just scored a goal by Lee Paholke.
So their best players have to be running through the midfield. There's no doubt about that. You can't have your second stringers running through the midfield when you've got players like Langford at half-back and Hallahan out on the wing. It's no good to them.
Ball back in the middle, Corp in the ruck, up against Big Macklin Rain. Rain beat him to that one. Hutchison out of the centre once again, goes to half forward. That's a good, strong mark taken by Minchington, and having a guy, Paul Minchington's size, that can take overhead marks like that, geez, it's a real key to have, isn't it?
Scary player.
He's been one of the best today, hasn't he, Vossi? He's looking pretty good for that medal so far.
Going early.
Oh, if he kicks this, what is it, he's fourth?
Yeah, fifth.
Shot at goal. That's a beautiful kick. Beautiful kick by Paul Minchington, an answering goal there for Frankston YCW. They're up to 15,696, Sorrento 3,725, and that is on the Rye Hotel scoreboard. And he's been very good, and he's probably missed one in the first quarter. He actually missed one from a metre in the first quarter as well, so he actually should have another one on the board, to be honest.
And that's just how good YC are, isn't it? I mean, Sorrento will easily, drop their heads sometimes on occasions, and it's not a good thing, whereas YC are just like, right, let's not let this game, let's not just take it easy, let's keep putting the foot down, and they respond, within 15 seconds. So that just shows you the side that YC are.
Ball back to the middle. Taken out there for Sorrento up towards half forward. Ball off the pack, and seeing the ball over the line there for Sorrento was Alex Bird. And Nepean Highway off each end of the ground in the third quarter. Sorrento are kicking two. And you've got a pretty good bench down there at the moment. Grant, James Hallahan, Ryan Williams, and Tapscott just come on. So given an opportunity to a few others out there at the moment just to try and shuffle the deck and see how they go.
I mean, that's what you look at though, Vossi. I mean, you've got Gladman out there who was one of their best young players. Luke Tapscott, gun. Zach Burns, gun. Paholke, gun. Dawes, gun. Daniel Grant's a gun. You've got all those players, both the Hallahan brothers. They're such good players, but at the moment they're only playing as good players. They're not playing together, which is what was so good about them last year. They had a side full of superstars, but they're also playing as a superstar side, where, as we touched on before, so far they just haven't been that superstar side. So it's really killing them at the moment, Vossi, which is quite clear to see on the scoreboard.
Short pass, mark taken by McLeod. Probably Scott McLeod hasn't probably had the greatest game either, and yet there's still 12 goals in front on the scoreboard as he goes long towards centre wing. Butland goes up, takes the mark in front. Yes, he's been
strong
paid.
Mark.
Yeah, great grab. He's got a beautiful set of hands, Josh Butler.
Short pass, mark taken at half forward here for Frankston YCW. By Chevalier it was, who goes out towards the attacking 50 at left half forward. The umpire is going to throw the ball back into play. 14 minutes into the third quarter. In case you've just tuned in here, 15-6, White 96, YCW, Sorrento 3-7-25.
You heard that right.
71 points. There'll be, in the lead up to this game, there was a lot of talk on social media when this game was announced about who was the best, who was going to be the best. And
it was great, wasn't it? A lot of banter. There
was a hell of a lot of banter, and it's only going to be the the Stone Cats that are going to be having all the bragging rights tonight. And Sorrento don't have an under 19 side, and they lost the seconds as well. So it's been a poor day for Sorrento in the new competition. And as Locke touched on at quarter time, we just don't know what's going to happen next year with the competition. It could be the inclusion of Casey sides. It might not be. Who knows? I have my opinions on that, which we'll talk about another time. Here's an opportunity for Gladman, who picks up the ball and goes towards the attacking 50, but that is going to be marked as no, not to be. Not quite there on that occasion. Hand pass over the top, still an opportunity. Paholke gets a hand pass over. Deeper scroll into the open goal and misses. Story of their day, short pass.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Vossi, and you heard the YCW crowd just get behind that behind. Open goal, decide to dribble through. You just can't do that when you're so far behind.
Oh, he's an ex-YC player too. First year out of the club, so you'll definitely hear that one.
You will every day then, won't you? Just getting behind him, letting him know.
Yep.
Love it.
So Ryan Williams just sets the ball up inside attacking 50. No mark was taken. Ball on the ground. A chance now for YCW to clear, and they will. And they go out through Coughlin out towards centre wing. It's taken by Brigden. He had the opportunity. He dropped the ball, holding the ball for mine, and it is.
Yeah, me too. Every day. Took it on.
Absolutely no awareness then, Brigden. Just
no talk.
Took off and didn't know the man was there. And as you said, there should have been a teammate talking to him.
Absolutely.
Hold.
So everything going YCW's way at this stage as the kick goes down towards half forward. Brigden goes back to win his own ball there. He picks up the ball and just chucks it on the boot and goes towards half forward. It wasn't the greatest of kicks. Hannes gets a hand pass over the top towards his teammate there in Lilac. He didn't pick up the ball. A chance here for James Allahan. Has to beat two. In fact, he's called to play on. He was called to advantage, but then the umpire said, no, I won't do that. So Deeper Squall with the ball. He goes from 60 metres out from goal. He goes towards full forward. Looking down there for, I think he was looking for Paholke. The ball was knocked away from him. Picked up by Lovett. A hand pass to Coughlin. To McLeod, I should say, and they're away down the centre wing. As Brigden just pushing his opponent in the back there. Not to be. The umpire says, no, that's fine. We're 17 minutes, Locke. We're 17 minutes into the third quarter, and the margin is 70 points in favour of Frankston YCW, and not a lot of signs here for YCW for Sorrento that they're getting back into this game. Short pass.
No, not at all. No, I've seen quite a few Sorrento people just flood out the gates. It's like Collingwood at three-quarter time.
It's just been disappointing watching them go forward, Vossi. I mean, we know last year was one of the most exciting factors about Sorrento was the fact Dawes was down there, Paholke was down there, Corp was down there. It was an exciting thing about Sorrento, but they just don't look like it when they're going forward. Like Nick Corp gets the ball, just bombs it in and sits it on Paholke's head. When you got players like Byron Barry and Christian Ongarello down there, you just can't afford to do that.
That's been happening all day though, Locke. They've just been bombing it in and just hoping for the best.
There's an opportunity now, a high kick there by Hannes out towards Mazarek, who went up, couldn't take the mark. Ball picked up by Gardner. It was a hand pass to Marston, who plays on. Goes inside attacking 50, just kicking hope. No real semblance of proper play about that. Dawes tried to claim the mark, but the umpire said no. 40 metres out from the Sorrento goal. Beach into the ground. The umpire says, I'm going to ball it up. And the thing about Sorrento not having under-19s this year, boys, because Sorrento have played a lot of juniors, and there are probably still a lot of juniors out there that played in their juniors, but they're not going to get the opportunity with no under-19 side this year.
No, you're absolutely right, and I think that's why Blackers was brought in to obviously develop those kids, and it was made very difficult when they announced that they weren't going to have an under-19 side. I think that changed the landscape of the whole footy club, to be honest. I know that the junior club, with my son being involved in the juniors, it's struggling as well, just like the rest of the clubs down south. I suppose it's not just Sorrento.
That's a good kick. Debenham can run onto the ball at 40. He has to stop and prop. He goes in short. He's looking there for a teammate who can't quite get to it on this occasion. Taken away by Brigden. A high kick. He was just a kick in hope there. Go catch that one. Taps got to his credit, went up. Couldn't take the mark. Ball on the ground. A chance now for Deeper Squale. He goes in short. The mark has been taken there by Ryan Williams, who is at half back here for Sorrento.
This is really where they've been falling down, Vossi. They've just got no targets forward of centre.
Spot on, Lock.
I mean, they've got the big Duke marking Corp, who they're going to now, but he's 60 out and just bombing in hope for Dawes, but Ongarello's worn him like a glove all day.
And I said at the start, as Dawes goes at goal and misses that one, I said at the start, Dawes has got him in height, but Ongarello's good for pace. And
well, for some reason they're playing Paholke one out, which has been really interesting for me. I mean, when you've got a bloke like Dawes on Ongarello, I'd be leaving him in the goal square because he's probably going to have him for strength and he's probably going to have him for, you know, for the height. So yeah, I mean they're gonna get him every time.
And Data just seeing the ball over the line. What's happened here? The umpire, the crowd just giving a Bronx cheer there. I thought they might have been giving a free kick or something, but not to be. And the umpire says, throw the ball back into play. We're 20 minutes played in the third quarter. And we're into time on. And YCW have kicked 3 goals in this quarter. Sorrento have kicked just the 1. And it's been another dominant display by YCW this quarter. And Sorrento, well, not only have they had a beating like this, haven't had a beating like this for a long time, they wouldn't have scored such a low score on tipping for such a long time also. Especially on a day like this, obviously wet days, you can score lower scores, etc. But today, it's a beautiful day for football out there and good opportunity to showcase the skills.
I think today, Vossi, for the first time in a long time, they can say it's going to be a long drive down the highway.
Yeah, I saw a Hummer coming here today, actually. I thought it might have been someone coming.
I would have been one of Sorrento's finest, no doubt.
I did see a Hummer on the road coming here this afternoon, so yeah, they'll be nice and quiet.
Stretch Ferrari.
Nice and quiet on the way home. Here's an opportunity now. A hand pass over the top there by Langford towards Gladman. Shannon Gladman goes inside attacking 50. And the 1-on-2, the 2 should win out here for YCW. They will win out in the end. A hand pass there towards the half-back line that's over the line. And through for a boundary throw in. 15-6-96 plays 3-10-28. Margin is 68 points.
How smart's Ash Eames? I mean, we know that most entries for Sorrento so far have just been long bombs in. So he's just positioned himself in front of Corp and Dawes. Unfortunately, for Ash Eames, he's just given away a free kick to Dawes in the ruck contest about 45 out. So Dawes will go back and probably hit the post, as he has 3 times already today. But yeah, no, he's just. I mean, what did you say? 38 years old, and he's just so smart around the ball. Where he's probably 110, 120 kilos, and just so smart where he positions himself as Dawes goes back and kicks it out in the full.
Oh, he's wheeling it back, Lock. He was wheeling it back.
Yeah, there's not much you can do when you start at 15 metres out, right at the point post, Vossi.
It was not a good kick, and I tell you what.
Return the favour.
If you don't barrack for Sorrento, you probably, well, the crowd's against them, and they are absolutely giving it to them, that's for sure.
You'd just be happy as a YC supporter, wouldn't you? I mean, like we spoke about, this has probably been the biggest, touched on game since last year. Ash Eames again, what a mark. Vossi,
so much anticipation.
Ash Eames just flies across the packet in front of the goal square and takes a tremendous mark as they exit through. Santon just blazes away though, kicks up towards the wing, finds Mazarek, who gives a handball inside to Minchington, fumbles, Potter, Dabrowski, runs to 50, looking for an option. And again, just Ongarello finds Dawes and just gets him, chases him down, and Gladman gets the crumb, but was found and tackled well by Hutchison. They're just hot on it, aren't they, YC, as Hutchison goes outer towards Santon, who just noses up to the defensive 50, looks up the wing, couldn't find any of his teammates, and Brigden unfortunately drops a mark and pulls up a bit proppy from that. Doesn't look too good there, Vossi.
No.
Might be a little bit of issue with his ankle. No, seems to be walking fine now.
He's pulled up a bit sore from the last few contests he's been in, so I'll just have to keep an eye on that as the umpire throws the ball in. Williams and Macklin Rain to contest. Macklin Rain wins that one. Goes down and back to the boundary there. Umpire to bring it back in again.
For our yachting fans, there seems to be a regatta on over in the bay. Looks like, just having a look, boat number 57 seems to be winning that. So just for our yachting fans down there, down south.
48's coming up on the inside too. So looking beautiful day across the bay actually.
It is.
Taken by Daniel Grant. Langford lost control and seeing the ball over there with Scott McLeod. when you've got a player like Scott McLeod in your side short pass, and he probably hasn't had the best day, and they're still winning by 12 goals. Boy, oh boy, this is a great sign for them going forward.
Absolutely. Just sitting in there, standing up in the crowd earlier, Vossi, and you know, there was some comments flying around saying that, you know, YC should be the Frankston Dolphins, and I think if YC, watching them today, they could almost, yes, it was you, Locke, they could almost bring it to the Dolphins and touch them up as well. They're very, very professional, skilled side, that's for sure.
Oh, just such a well-coached side as well. I mean, Cappy's a brilliant coach. He's coaching a side of superstars, and all he's got to give to them is a game plan, and they work together. They're all a great bunch of mates as well, which is brilliant for a club.
He probably doesn't have to do a hell of a lot with his side, to be honest. He's the one that directs the ship, I suppose, in terms of
that's a good point, Vossi.
The positional changes, but in terms of the players just know the plan so very well, and they just execute it so very well also. Here's an opportunity still for Angus Wright. It was the best on ground in the under-18s grand final, under-19s grand final, I think, last year. That's under-18, under-19s.
Under-19s last year. Vossi was unfortunately dropped from the senior grand final, but
got to play in the premiership.
You know, that just says what YC's like. I mean, any kid probably would have said, oh, well, you know what, stuff ya. You can't drop me for a ones grand final, but he went back to the 19s and played for his team and dominated, and they won the grand final, and yeah, he won the league best on. So it just says a lot about their club, doesn't it? Just for their kids to come through and want to stick by them. You know, I mean, their kids, they've got a ridiculous amount of kids coming through. So there'll probably be kids missing out every week, but they're happy to stay just because of the culture of the club. As Dawes takes an uncontested mark about 30 out from goal straight in front. Let's see if he can go back and put this one through.
Yeah, he's missed a few of these today, but a man of Chris Dawes' ability and talent should put this goal through. Just about at three-quarter time. He has the shot. Oh, he's missed that one too.
He's missed to the left. Geez, it's been disappointing.
I reckon he's kicked one goal. I reckon he's kicked one goal. I reckon probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, what they've kicked 12 points.
Letting him know too, boys. Just having a little whisper in his ear. You might be AFL, but I've got you covered. Well,
he's actually probably been lucky today, Ongers, because I mean, there's been lots of occasions where he hasn't been on him, and Dawes has been having the opportunities. He probably could have 5 or 6 to his name. Yeah. Yeah, he's been very disappointing in front of goal.
If you're Ongers though, Locke, you'd take it every day of the week.
Oh my golly, you would.
Kick by Corp, inside attacking 50. Paholke got rid of his opponent. Smart. Now gets the ball back to him there. Paholke, and he misses. He tries the old Jason Dunstall dribble kick there, Locke, and I tip it, if Dunstall saw that, he'd be absolutely tearing strips off Lee Paholke right now.
He'd be out in the field, I reckon, Vossi. He'd be very sour on that, but wasn't it smart by Chris Dawes just to know where his teammate was and give a little tap back over the head? Yeah, smart by him, but unfortunately couldn't get the job done, Paholke, which is normally his bread and butter, which just tells you, you know, the significance of the pressure that YC are giving him today. Just haven't had any easy opportunities to score as the three-quarter siren blows.
At three-quarter time, it's a 66-point margin to YCW, 15-6-96. Sorrento 3 goals, 12-30. We'll take a break. You're listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula Football.
Hi, Pete again from the Mornington Telstra Business Centre. I'd like you to meet Scott.
G'day.
Sarah.
Hello.
And Beck.
Hi.
From our team. NBN is coming to the Mornington Peninsula, and we're here to help your business get the most out of it. These guys can answer your questions about NBN for business and can take care of the technical aspects. So drop by for a chat with any of the team at our Mornington Telstra Business Centre or call us now on 1300 My Business. That's 1300 692 874 to book an appointment, or we can come to you.
Ever thought of yourself as a powerful member of your local community? As a customer of a Bendigo Community Bank branch, that's exactly who you are. For when you choose to bank with the Bendigo Bank, it triggers a cycle of great outcomes for your local community. Banking with a community bank means your community shares in the bank's income. Your community then decides which projects that income is spent on. So let's make great things happen. Drop into your nearest Bendigo Community Bank branch or visit bendigobank.com.au. A proud station sponsor.
Boys, gather round, lads. Come in, come on, come in. We have a new import. He's special, well hopped, and can go a lot longer than you lot. Hop culture. Hop culture. Pale, lager, brown, IPA. Look after him, okay?
Thanks, Coach. I'd just like to thank the teacher, Harry Smith, my mum, my dad, the man on the tram, the nana, my dog Kenny, the girlfriend.
Mornington Peninsula Brewery love football as much as they love making world-class beer. That's why they're the sponsors of local footy. This season, treat yourself to a round of beer and a pizza at the Brewery Bar, Mornington Peninsula Brewery, 72 Watt Road, Mornington.
The Red Hill Baker of Balnarring is your one-shop food destination, jam-packed with a great variety of homemade artisan breads, gourmet pies and cakes, delicious salads and chef-prepared take-home meals. Our providor has an amazing range of fresh, local and international gourmet products. Come in and enjoy a wood-fire pizza and lunchtime specials on Sunday while listening to live jazz. The Red Hill Baker of Balnarring is at the corner of Balnarring Road and Frankston Flinders Road, Balnarring, a proud station sponsor.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Kevin and his lean team pride themselves on the finest cuts, from juicy steaks and roasts to high-grade mince and sausages. And Eliza Meats are the gourmet specialists. Inquire about Eliza Meats Spitfire. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. It's all at Eliza Meats. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
Want to plan a cruise holiday?
Somerville Travel's passion is cruising.
Jackie and Rochelle can help you plan your dream holiday to a number of destinations around the world.
As a member of Cruise Co, the girls can offer you exclusive cruises, access to over 50 cruise lines worldwide.
And great fly, cruise and stay holidays to some of the world's most popular destinations.
Call Jackie or Rochelle at Somerville Travel and Cruise today and start planning your next holiday. 03 5977 5433.
Station sponsor.
Yeah, that was just quarter time. I just replayed the difference.
Jalna is an Australian-owned second-generation family business that makes us very fussy about what we put into every delicious creamy pot of Jalna yogurt. For 55 years, we've insisted that it's free from artificial sweeteners, preservatives, gelatin and colouring. In fact, anything unnatural. Only Goulburn Valley milk, pure ingredients and friendly cultures, hot set in the traditional manner. Simple and pure the way food should be. From our family to yours, Jalna, a little pot of purity, a station sponsor.
When you're working in the garden, you need tough, reliable tools that won't let you down. That's why Hastings mowers stock quality brands like Honda, Echo, Toro, Cox, Husqvarna and Shindaiwa. With a huge range of mowers, brush cutters, chainsaws, shredders, pumps and generators in store. For quality equipment and excellent service, call into our sponsor Hastings Mowers Superstore at 2013 Frankston Flinders Road, Hastings.
A proud station sponsor. Denor Homewares have been servicing the kitchen and dining needs of the Mornington Peninsula for 5 years. Denor Homewares pride themselves on a wide variety of quality brands, excellent service and the right advice, plus loyalty discounts, seniors discounts, lay-by and free gift wrapping. At Denor Homewares, they put the customer first. Visit denorhomewares.com.au or drop into Shop 3, 26 McLaren Place, Mornington. Phone 5976 8868. Denor Homewares Mornington, a proud station sponsor.
Goals 12-30, and that is a shellacking in anyone's book as the crowd just making their way off the ground and will be underway for the last quarter. Any tick of the clock. Michael Vossi, Neil Custerson, Adam Short Pass, Kelly, and also Lockie Kelly this afternoon, and of course the shield at the end of the day. The Andrew Toe Punt Kelly shield given out to the winning team. And the best player on the ground will be the Andrew Kelly, the toe punt medal as well. So you could raffle about 7 or 8 YCW players, I think, for that at this stage.
It's going to be tough, Fossey, I reckon. We just had a bit of a chat in the break, and it's yeah. I mean, look, for me, there's probably 3 or 4 players that could get it right now, so last quarter is going to be interesting. Let's hope, Vossi, for the crowd that is dwindling, that Sorrento can sort of turn things around. And Brendan, I'm optimistic. I just hope that something can be done here, just to save a bit of face for the drive home, I suppose.
Yeah, it's going to be a long week. Of course, I'll be Easter Monday tomorrow. I'll be licking their wounds tomorrow with Sorrento because they've been absolutely thrashed today by a thoroughly professional. As we keep saying, YCW have been for the best part of 25 years. Here's an opportunity for Tapscott. He gets a hand pass over the top. He was looking there for his teammate in Bird who couldn't keep control of the ball. Still an opportunity there. A hand pass by Tompkins, a hand pass to Tapscott. Kick around the corner has been marked by Nick Corp, 15 metres out from goal. And this is no sure thing, short pass.
No, look, I've going on past experience, I hope for the Sharks that he can slot this one through, but anything can happen.
He missed one from the top of the goal square in the last quarter of the interleague game against Geelong at the MCG last year. And that's why I'm saying when these distances are a worry to him. But that was a good kick.
Today.
That was a good kick by Corp, and that's a goal. So well done to Nick Corp there. He puts the first goal on the board inside a minute, and Sorrento are up to 4 goals, 12-36. YCW at 15-6-96.
Good start for the Sharks, Fossey. That'll just settle last quarter, I reckon. Get them sorted out.
Of course, live here, thanks to Pete and the team, the Mornington Rosebud Telstra stores. And of course, we've got the Rye Hotel sponsoring the scoreboard, Mornington Peninsula Brewery, the best on ground. We've got David Barks, Retrovision. We've got our great sponsors supporting us again in 2018, and we appreciate all their help.
Couldn't do it without them, Bossy.
Absolutely. Makes the world go round to sponsors for a radio station like ours, that's for sure. So
community radio.
Exactly right. So we're just waiting for the ball to come back over the fence. I can tell you in the AFL that West Coast around about quarter time were, I think, 7 points in front of the Western Bulldogs in their game at Etihad Stadium. Sydney playing Port Adelaide at 4:40, and tomorrow Hawthorn's going to cause the upset against Geelong tomorrow. Short pass.
I saw Dougie Hawkins down during the function. He had a few things to say. He was very up and about and was looking forward. He was heading out the door as I grabbed him and said, "You're famous. I'll have a chat with you." And so I had a quick chat with him, and he was heading straight up to Etihad to watch the game. So good to see Dougie Hawkins and all the ex-superstars, I suppose. The C-listers still getting around the local clubs.
That's for sure. So, all right, so we haven't missed anything. We're just waiting for the ball to come back, and the ball is back in the centre now. So Williams and Eames in the ruck. Eames wins one more time, taken by Mitch Hallahan. Kick inside, attacking 50. And the mark is taken there in defence. It's taken by Cody Hanness. So he will go back from centre half
He's
back.
going to get told to play on in a minute, Fossey. It's good to see Sharks just tightened up a bit.
Goes out towards his teammate there in Mazarek. Ball was knocked away from him. Taken by Wright.
Oh, that's high.
Oh, that's high first umpire.
He didn't see it. He didn't see it.
That's high first, and then the tackle slipped down, but the original tackle was very high on
nearly
Angus
took
Young.
his head off.
Angus Young. Angus right there at...
Angus Young. He's back.
Angus Wright, he was, he's unlucky there, but I suppose there's 60 points in front. They're not going to really care at this stage too much. As Wright with the ball once again. Kids had a solid game, goes out towards half forward, wing to half forward, free kick to Butland.
Pushed out of the contest.
We've got numbers floating forward here. Go towards Wagner, who kicks the 2 goals in the third quarter. He might kick another one here, Wagner. He's on the left foot, he has the shot, but he misses to the near side. 15-7-97, plays 4-12-36.
Seen a little bit of change into the, certainly going into the third quarter, starting into the fourth quarter, Vossi, where they have had the contested footy, which is good for Sorrento. They're trying to work it out here. If they can keep hold of the footy, hopefully they can score some majors and just hopefully decrease that whooping that they're about to receive.
Yeah, they've copped for they've dominated probably 10 minutes of football, and it's all been all YCW other than that. And
yeah, spot on.
So 59 points is the margin. There's Debenham, a hand pass. He went towards Byron Barry. He went for the kick, but it was smothered off the boot there. Might have been Bird who knocked that one over the line for a boundary throw in. So right in front of the Brian Mace grandstand here is the crowd is just a mere sprinkle of people over there now. It was a bit bigger earlier.
Yeah, it was.
Kicked by Mitch Hallahan towards half forward. taken there for YCW. Ongarello, the ball is over the line now for a boundary throw-in. Just merely playing out time, these two sides at the moment. Obviously, YCW are going to win. The Sharks would like to get a couple of goals for respectability, but even at this stage, percentage is always good in round one. Build that percentage up early and just helps you for later in the season, that's for sure. As the kick goes towards the centre of the ground, Daniel Grant went back with the flight of the ball, couldn't take the mark, ball on the ground. Now a chance for Sorrento through Gardner. It comes out towards Di Pasquale, goes in short towards Tapscott, who goes back. Luke Tapscott, he fell to ground, might have been out of the contest, but he managed to get to his feet. Well done, Luke Tapscott. He was out of that contest, and YCW could not clear the ball. Tapscott got back into it and kicked a very good goal.
Very, very good goal. That was second effort too then. He got tackled, ball come to ground. Tapscott picked it up, did not hesitate, straight through the middle. Umpire didn't move. Good to see for the Sharks. Hopefully they get around him and, hey, look, they might be able to put another one on right away.
So 6.5 minutes played in the last quarter. And the margin is 55 points. At least Sorrento have kicked the first 2 goals of the last quarter. Here's an opportunity now for Jai Coughlin, who goes in short, looking there for his teammate at half forward, but the ball was knocked away by Jack Grant from Paul Minchington over the line for a boundary throw. Minchington, who probably hasn't had a lot of touches, but he's managed to kick about 4 goals for the afternoon. And he's had a very good game. Paul Minchington went around the sticks. Quick possession there. High kick by McLeod. Inside attacking 50 for YCW. Hodson goes up, couldn't take the mark. Ball on the ground. Wagner sees it over the line for a boundary throw-in. End of the day, the Andrew Tay Punt Kelly medal and shield will be given out to the winning side, YCW. The winning player of the medal, we don't know yet, but there's going to be a few players putting their hand up. One thing's for sure, they'll be wearing a YCW jumper as taken by Wagner. He gets the hand pass off and now quick kick forward towards the top of the goal square. Can YCW get a goal here? No, not to be. The umpires is going to ball it up right at the top of the goal square. We're 8 minutes into the last quarter. And it is YCW 15-7-97, Sorrento 5-12-42 as we're joined again by Lockie. And Lock, Sorrento have at least kicked the first 2 goals. He's showing a little bit of ticker in this last quarter.
Yeah, well, it's good to see him not giving up, Vossi. That's the most important thing. Good sides like this with a side, with a side full of superstars, they tend to drop their heads pretty quick. So it's good to see him still going. I mean, Luke Tapscott's obviously a pretty heart, puts his heart on out there, and he certainly would have reached out to his side and said, boys, come on, let's not embarrass ourselves here. So yeah, they'll definitely still be fighting, which is good to see and good for the game.
There's a snap at Dole.
Oh,
that's Dole, and is that
Chevrolet?
That's Chevrolet who's kicked it, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Did you see that? That was Paul Minchington's assist. He took on 3 or 4 players, and then busted through handball. Fantastic.
He's not bad, Mincho. I mean, he probably could have slotted that himself somehow, I'm sure, but that's just what YC's like as well. They're great with teamwork. They play together. They play as mates. So always happy to. And I mean, when you're 60 points up, 61 points up, you're happy to give them off after you kick 4 as well. So
yeah, share the love, Lock.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. That's the one.
You see that teams have their premier goal kicker, if you like, but you hit the nail on the head there, boys, when you said that they do share the love. They do. It's all about team. It's not individual, it's team with YCW, and that's what's made them so successful for a quarter of a century, basically. Here's an opportunity now for Lilac to knock the ball forward out towards centre wing. It's picked up there for Sorrento on a hand pass by Dabrowski. Back towards Daniel Grant, now over the top towards Gladman. Ball right below us now, an opportunity for Tapscott. Tapscott goes forward towards Dawes at full forward. Ongarello goes back and beats him in the contest. Well done, Ongarello.
Great mark, Ongarello.
He took the mark. Dawes was right on him there. Although I was going to say it's a poor kick there, but as it is, they've managed to take the mark before Cork could spoil effectively. So the umpire gave the mark there to YCW.
Hongus didn't take his eye off the ball then, did he?
No, not once. And
No, Dawes turned his back to take him on.
That's
He
what
had his
makes
eyes
it-
on the ball. He knew it was coming.
That's what makes a great defender, isn't it?
Yep,
Don't worry
absolutely.
about where your man is.
Nah.
Worry about the ball
Yep.
because your man's going to be at the ball. So as long as you're with that ball, it's not going to matter where your man is.
Yep, like a dog to a ball, Lock.
But I mean, again, then we're just with that entry. I mean, it was great off the wing, you know, a couple of nice handballs and link up. But then Tapscott, who's normally a man that's, you know, quite composed, who could have easily hit up Dawes, just, you know, sent it up in the air and quickly bombed it in as quick as they could. So it just shows you the pressure YC's been have put on Sorrento today. As big Macklin Rain crushes the pack and Grant's down. He kicks it forward in the hope Butland can get onto it. Potter beats him in the foot race back to goal, and he just knocks it through for a rush behind. Grant still just getting gingerly up from that big hit from Macklin Rain.
He's
Certainly
received a couple of good knocks today, Lock. He's gonna have a pretty sore Easter Monday, I reckon.
He'll hit the ice pretty hard, I would have thought, as Potter's bringing the ball back in. Not much to kick to, so he looks high up the wing. Gets a mark there from Chad Harris. Good mark against young Wagner there. Takes a good mark. Looking up towards the wing. He's got Dawes one-on-one if he wants it. Trying to sort out what he wants. I mean, last year, and he's just made a pressure decision. Gone for the long kick. Munged it off the side of the boot and kicked it straight into the YC bench about 20 metres ahead. And Santon will bring it back in. Goes backwards. Looking for finding Ongarello, who's looking for the switch. Doesn't have much on, but Street moves for him now. Goes that in that direction. Takes a great mark there against Baholke. About 70 out in the centre square. Cramping a little bit, but he's up. Looks for an option going forward.
He's another sizable boy, Lock.
Yeah, a good young kid coming through as he sends that left foot. Looking for Hodson. Finds him. Just gets a mark for chopping of the arms. Would have taken a mark. Takes off. Runs to 45. Sets sail.
Big kick.
And just drifts across the face, misses there. But he's a player that's been great as well. I mean, it's just players like those, isn't it, Vossi, that have just, you know, those second stringers, for, I guess, for YC, who just step up and can perform. And it's where Sorrento was so good last year, just lacking that today as Hallahan looks for Gladman inboard, finds him under pressure though, looks to go back to Hallahan, but they were outnumbers well and truly then. And Hutchison grabs the ball and finds a free kick. He's probably got it about 65 out. Point of the square, looking for an option. Sorrento just flooding numbers back, so he has to go wide, looking for Butland. Butland sticks the one juke out, couldn't take it, and will find the boundary line. Good result for YC because we know how strong they've been so far today from the stoppages. As big Macklin Rain will go down and look for that option. Hutchison floating in around the back of the pack by himself. It's probably not what you want as a Sorrento player. Ball brought back in. Macklin Rain uncontested, taps straight down to Hutchison, as I said. Tackled, no, finds the left foot, goal. That is just lazy midfield work from Sorrento.
They watched that. They absolutely watched that. Come down, he turned, blind turn, puts it on the left banger and just slots it through. That was way too easy. You think, as we were saying off the top, Vossi, that, you know, the Sorrento come out, you know, willing to fight the fight, which is the message of the day, and then to watch that, Lock.
Well, I mean, it was clear to us, wasn't it? I called it. Hutchison running in by himself. I mean, you don't want to leave anyone in those situations by themselves, but a player of Hutchison's standards. And then to let Macklin Rain go up uncontested and tap it straight down to him, it's just lazy work from Sorrento's midfield. As the ball's back in the middle, Macklin Rain gets a big thumping fist forward. Grant runs straight through it, finds Lovett. Lovett goes long, inboard, high, Butland up. Couldn't take the mark, brings it to ground, and that stacks on the mill. And the umpire said, I'll take that, I'll ball it up, thank you very much. But geez, I mean, there's sore bodies out there, aren't there? There's lots of unfit stuff going on. I mean, Grant couldn't bend down and pick it up below his knees then. So quite sore bodies out there at the moment, boys. As the umpire throws it back up, Rain and Corp to contest. Corp wins a tap only as far as Mazarek. Another congestion, and the umpire will say, I'll take it again. So there's definitely some tired bodies out there, isn't there, boys? I mean, they're probably feeling this big ground first game. I mean, it's a massive ground to be playing on in your first game. And Macklin Rain gets a tap out from that congestion, only as far as Grant, who puts it on the boot, gets it as far as a defensive 50, finds Chevrolet, who goes backwards to Coughlin, who's got numbers everywhere inside, and he'll find one of them, and he does. And it's that man that's probably carved it up in his last half, and it's Kyle Hutchison. And he'll go back on quite a tight angle, probably a 40-degree angle, about 35 out. And you back him. Oh, you back him every day of the week from here. He's been a big game player for most of his career, and he's got the whole YC crowd behind him here. They'll be cheering him in. This to make it a 78-point margin.
So Kyle Hutchison, who has had a Kyle Hutchison game. He's just a champion of this game, this team. And he misses on that occasion though. So 17, 10, 112, plays 5, 12, 42.
Sorrento quick to get it back in.
Very quick. Good hit from there, Grant. You don't expect much more from Grant. As he goes up towards the wing, finds Bird, who needs to move it quickly. They've got numbers.
No one.
They've got numbers floating back. YC he now finds his teammate in King, but Ongarello, hasn't he been brilliant? He's shut down Dawes, and he's just taken a nice intercept mark there. Now he goes across for the switch, finds Barry, who moves it quickly, goes to Angus Wright, who drops a sitter. But he's got a teammate there, Debenham, to help, but great work by Chad Harris. Just chucked himself on the footy. Oh, no, he's going to be pinged.
Yeah, he dragged it in, Locke.
He did drag it in, but geez, wasn't it brilliant for him just to at least get that footy?
Well, young bloke, Chad.
He is, he's only young, but Debenham will receive the free kick. He goes across the face. It's an ambitious kick. And it is. He doesn't find his teammate in Credlin, who's under the pump. Good there by the Sorrento player. Gives the hands back to King. King looks inboard. Gladman all by himself. Can take off if he wants. Does. Looks for Dawes instead of going for goal. Unselfish work. And he'll find Dawes in a square. Uncontested. And he'll go down. And he'll line up. Can we back him from here, Vossi? That's the question. He's 5 metres out directly in front.
Nick Corp missed one at the MCG last year.
He did. And Dawes goes back quickly and puts that one through. And reduces the margin ever so slightly. But too little too late, Michael Voss. The game is well and truly over and was over at half time. But as we said earlier this quarter, they come out and kick a couple of goals, and it's good to see that they're not giving up. That forward pressure was still there. Probably a silly decision by Debenham to go across the face to a 50-50 contest. But I mean, when it's this late in the game and you're that far ahead, I suppose it doesn't matter. You're going to take those risks. And he did exactly that. And unfortunately, couldn't find the target. And it was good work out there by Sorrento to pump it back in.
You look at that, Chris Dawes, 62nd goal for the game, but Ongarello, you're right, has been his superior today.
Or just the pressure. I think the pressure that he's putting Dawes under. He might not be as big a body, but he's definitely he's smart. He's a smart defender. And I think he's done the job today.
Lovely tap there from Corp. Finds Mitch Hallahan, who goes up towards the forward 50. Finds his teammate there, who goes back quickly. Looks for Paholke, but sits it on his head. Look good there by Lockie Street to reach over and fist it and come out with the ball. Gives a handball to Credlin. Credlin goes back to Street, who looks up the line for Santon, but the boundary line beats them all. And will be out in the full. And it'll be Gardner to bring it back in. They need to move it quickly because we know how good Sorrento are, YC are at moving defenders in. Goes to Hallahan, who looks for Dawes but couldn't find him. And it was one of those players there chipping back again as he moves it on quickly, looking for Debenham up towards a defensive 50. Grant with a nice fist falls into King's hands, who goes to Chad Harris, who finds his best mate there, and Shannon Gladham, who drops a mark. And YC players jump on him. He gets his handball away, but only as far as Ongarello, who goes to his teammate in right. Tries to bite off a bit more than he can chew, but quickly gets a handball off that finds Scott McLeod, who gives another one up the line. Looking for Hutchison, under pressure. Gets a high free kick, though, against Nick Corp. That's what happens when you put your head over the footy. You get those free kicks a little bit too high.
Junior footy.
And he's one man that'll put his head over it no matter what. And he slows things down here, Hutchison. He's got Macklin Rain up the line, screaming for it, who's all by himself. Sees him now, goes in that direction, and he's all by himself, as I said, so he takes an easy, uncontested mark. But he gave a handball off when he shouldn't have, and Gardner cuts it off, and it'll go out of bounds. As Grant Ginger to get up again, as he's stood in front of Macklin Rain on a second occasion. And
he just puts his body in front, doesn't he?
Certainly felt aware of that one.
He's just getting smashed.
Poleaxed. Umpire throws it back in. Rain and Williams to contest. Williams wins that one, but only as far as Hutchison, who bursts through but gets tackled, couldn't get that clean handball away. Ball falls into Hallahan's hands, and it'll be another congestion and ball up from the umpire. But geez, isn't he explosive through those contests, Hutchison, as he runs off for a well-deserved break. And the ball umpire throws the ball back up. Williams and Rain contest again. Williams wins that one. Nice tap out down to Gardner, who looks forward, sees Dawes on the lead. But again, Ongarello with that fist over the back as he has all day. Ball falls to ground. Dawes and Ongarello chase the ball. Ongarello wins that contest. Handball towards Credlin. Boundary line beats him. The umpire will take it and throw the ball back in. But geez, boys, hasn't Ongarello just been great? I mean, we know his closing speed's brilliant. And I mean, we also know that Dawes has tremendous arms, and can stick them far out and really drops them, but Ongarella's just managed to get that fist in every time. As the ball is thrown back in, Asheem straight down to McLeod. McLeod whacks it on the boot towards forward 50 now, Marsden in a race with Angwin, and again, boundary line will beat them to it. Probably a good result for both teams. They're starting to look tired.
They are. Both teams clearly put their bodies on the line today. They've obviously today, boys, means a lot to a lot of people, and definitely they've, you know, as we said, it's been anticipated. So it's going to be some sore bods.
I think you'll find that both sides will take the advantage of jumping into the water over there straight after the game to try and get themselves set for next week. Obviously a 6-day break for both of these two teams. YCW coming up against Seaford at Seaford, and although not at that Seaford ground, they're not playing there at the moment. And Sorrento hosting Mount Eliza next week. So an opportunity there for Tapscott. He got the ball out now. Quick kick forward for Sorrento towards half forward. Dawes, he couldn't take that one. It's going to be taken there by Hannes, who goes out towards the half-back line. He's got a teammate there who's got time. He can play on in Debenham. He almost runs out of time there. Goes towards half-forward. Ball comes down. And that was Grant, who Daniel Grandstandard's had a pretty poor day, I think, anyhow. Here's an opportunity now for Wright. Wright goes towards half-forward.
They've
got loose man created. They've switched. They've got Santon. He can run once. He can bounce twice. No, he decides to go at goal. He goes at goal. He puts it through. And that is an icing on a very, very sweet cake if you're a Stonecat fan this afternoon. They're 18-10, 118. Sorrento 6-12-48. You're listening to RPP, the voice of Peninsula Football.
Pete again from the Mornington Telstra Business Centre. I'd like you to meet Scott. G'day. Sarah.
Hello.
And Beck.
Hi.
From our team. NBN is coming to the Mornington Peninsula, and we're here to help your business get the most out of it. These guys can answer your questions about NBN for business and can take care of the technical aspects. So drop by for a chat with any of the team at our Mornington Telstra Business Centre, or call us now on 1300 My Business. That's 1300 692 874 to book an appointment, or we can come to you.
Welcome back here to Frankston Park. Thanks, of course, to Pete and the team, the Mornington Rosebud Telstra stores. We're live here this afternoon. And it's YCW by 70 points over Sorrento. We are in the latter stages of this game, and it has been a thoroughly professional performance. Can they kick another 2 goals to get to an even 20? I'm sure they'd like to do that. Whether they've got time to do that's another thing. But Williams in the ruck contest just knocks it down to Tapscott. Probably could have done anything there, and he headed straight to the man who was under the most pressure. The umpire says, I'm going to ball it up. So ball up 40 metres out from the YCW goal. Boats are still out there on the water, and beautiful day.
Skiing there, Bossy.
Yeah, it's just one of those days you'd like, even though it's April and officially summer's over, it's a day you'd still like to stick the old budgies on and get out there and have a bit of a dip.
I think I just did that little spew in my mouth.
Wouldn't that be a sight? Big Michael Voss in his Hawaiian shirt open with the old budgie smugglers.
Oh, jeez.
I don't get the budgies on. I'm saying.
Well, why say it? I don't understand.
As Dawes and Ongarella contest at the forward 50 Sorrento. Dawes wins that one. Puts a quick one on the boot. Looking for Corp. Smart tap over the top. Knew his teammate in Leaper Hulk. He was there by himself. Who gets a nice easy one in the goal square. He kicks the goal.
I was going to miss that.
Has Sorrento. Geez, they're up and about, Sorrento.
Yeah. just the trainer, I think. There.
Yeah, I reckon that's all we heard.
Getting behind.
I reckon that is all we heard.
Beloved Sharks.
As they get an easy one, Sorrento. And they move to 7-12-54 to YC 18-10, 118 on the scoreboard.
Rye Hotel.
Rye Hotel. Thank you very much, Michael.
Just getting our lovely sponsors sorted out there.
What lovely sponsors we have supporting our community radio.
Yes, David Bark, Retrovision, of course, Mornington Rosebud Telstra stores, Pete and the team, Mornington Peninsula Brewery and Rye Hotel, among others.
Bendigo Bank.
Bendigo Bank, exactly, yeah.
As the ball's inside YC's forward line, Nice handball out to Marsden, who kicks in absolutely no one. Finds Asheems, who goes back to Hines on the wing. Looks inside, can't find anyone. Williams chops that one off. Got no one to give it to, though, under pressure. Finds Jack Grant, who goes with a nice kick. Finds Chad Harris, who looks across the ground. And he's got Dabrowski all by himself, got about 10 metres. He'll take a few steps, looks for Dawes, and a lovely kick. Lovely kick there from Dabrowski to find Dawes out in the lead. And there's not much Ongarella can do about that one. And Chris Dawes will go probably about kick from 40 out on about a 30-degree angle.
Slick footy, boys, but I don't think that would have worked 2 quarters ago. I think YC are just almost starting the cool down, if I can be so blunt.
Yeah, no, with 25 gone in the last quarter, you can definitely understand that. And they played hard all day as Dawes walks in slowly. Hopefully for Sorrento, he can kick this one. He kicks now, lets it sail, and he's pushed it across the face. Started right, stayed right, and it's another behind for Chris Dawes. I think that'll be about 2-7 if I have a look. 2-7, yes, 2-7 it is. Lachlan Street to bring it back in. Finds Hines, just a short one. Not out of trouble yet. He's looking forward, doesn't have much on. When in doubt, kick long. And he doesn't do that. He sees Barry, who takes a great... Oh, he's called play on. It was definitely a chop of the arms, but the umpire says play on. Finds Allahan, goes out to his brother Mitch, who kicks, smothered, finds Deepa Squally. Dabrowski there for the handball, gets it now, but too slow to get rid of it, gets tackled. Ball spills out to Burns, who looks backwards only as far as Lilac. 10 to Santon, then to Hodson. Not out of trouble yet, tries to do too much, gets tackled, gets the handball off. No, the umpire says holding the ball. That's a throw.
It's a throw.
So the free kick will go to James Hallahan. He's about 70 out. Looks for Corp. One-on-one with Credlin. Ball spills to the ground. Can't find anyone. The ball finds the boundary line instead. And the umpire will throw it back in.
Unlucky then, just a little bit too cute by YC trying to get the ball out.
Yeah, just tried to do too much, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just needed to keep going with those handballs, and they were out pretty quick. As the umpire throws the ball back in, Eames and Corp contest. Corp wins that one, goes down to King, who gets game tackled. Absolutely crunched by Ash Eames. That's not a man I'd want to be tackled by, because I'm sure he'd make you feel it. And the umpire says, yeah, he's getting up gingerly than King. As you would. Always limping as well. So the umpire, ball it up.
Off, son.
Eames and Corp to contest. Eames just goes with a big thump forward, finds Mazarek, gets pushed as he handballs. And great work there by Mitch Allahan to keep the ball in, but it's only as far as Lilac, and Lilac said, I need a break. So he takes the ball out of bounds, and the umpire, again, to do the work out on the boundary line.
Only seconds to go in this game. It's been a much talked about game, this one, but it's been YCW have been the better side all day and have proven that they are the top dogs when it comes to, you call it AFL Southeast Division 1, call it Mornington Peninsula European football, what it is. In this part of the world, they are kingpin, and they are kingpin for a reason. And they've proven it today as they try and get the ball out of trouble, and they do through Santon on the left foot, who started very well.
Great mark.
He's had a pretty good game most of, though. That is a good mark there taken. I think that might be Potter.
Yeah, Potter. Nice chip-in mark there for Potter. As he looks across the face, he's got Brigden in the centre of the ground. He looks to move it on quickly. Goes long, but didn't look, because he's got Hines, Eames and Credlin sitting in the way of Chris Dawes. He was never going to find it then, Chris Dawes. Eames gives a quick handball to Wright, who is under pressure, has to get rid of it quickly. And the ball will go out of bounds. Probably just moved it on a bit too quick then, the boys. In YC was Ash Eames and Angus Wright.
Saw the runner, thought I've got to get rid of it.
But he looked up and thought, there's nothing ahead of me, so what am I going to do?
I'll cough it.
You look up the ground and you see Ash Eames. Like, how can you not see Ash Eames?
Well, the three of them.
Gardner gets his kick smothered from the congestion. Angus Wright spills handball to McLeod, who looks forward, looking for Minchington. And great mark, great chip-in mark there from Brigden. And he'll take an uncontested mark as he looks across the field. Doesn't like what he sees, so he's going to just take a run. And he looks long to the half-forward line, but great fist there by Hines. Only as far as Bird, though, who goes with the big right torpedo punt in hope that it finds someone. Didn't find anyone. Oh, in fact, it did find someone. It was someone 5 metres over the fence. And it'll go out of bounds on the full. Christian Ongarello to be the man to bring the ball back in. Not seeing much. Looks inboard. Oh, great mark and S. I was just about to get under Christian Ongarello and say he's not great with decision-making and foot skills at the best of times, and he wasn't then, but great mark by Hunes, who gives it off to Street, who's got a beautiful, lovely left foot, and he'll go wide out to Santon, who's got it tied up against the boundary line. And he looks up the line, just a nice chip kick to find Hodson, bounces off his chest, but spills to Mazarek, and he whacks it quickly on the boot in direction of Hutchison, who gets it spoiled from Potter. But Mitchington down at the follow ball, taps it along the ground to right. And he gets it, but the siren goes. And YCW, 18-10, 118 to Sorrento, 7-13-55 are the victors today by a big, big margin. Certainly not what we expected.
Nope.
But it's what we got. And I'm going to leave you with it, Vossi, myself and Uncle. Have to go down to the ground, so I'll leave you and Neil to it.
I think Vossi's coming to lock, so we'll leave Neil.
We'll leave Neil to it. Neil will sum up what has happened this afternoon. Over to you, Neil.
And Neil just grabbed
As a powerful member of your local community, as a customer of a Bendigo Community Bank branch, that's exactly who you are. For when you choose to bank with the Bendigo Bank, it triggers a cycle of great outcomes for your local community. Banking with a community bank means your community shares in the bank's income. Your community then decides which projects that income is spent on. So let's make great things happen. Drop into your nearest Bendigo Community Bank branch or visit bendigobank.com.au. A proud station sponsor.
Boys, gather round, lads. Come in, come on, come in. We have a new import. He's special, well hopped, and can go a lot longer than you lot. Hop culture. Hop culture. Pale, lager, brown, IPA. Look after him, okay?
Thanks, Jake. I'd just like to thank the teacher, Harry Smith, my mum, my dad, the man on the tram, the nana, my dog Kenny, the girlfriend.
Mornington Peninsula Brewery love football as much as they love making world-class beer. That's why they're the sponsors of local footy. This season, treat yourself to a round of beer and a pizza at the Brewery Bar. Mornington Peninsula Brewery, 72 Watt Road, Mornington.
The Red Hill Baker of Balnarring is your one-shop food destination, jam-packed with a great variety of homemade artisan breads, gourmet pies and cakes, delicious salads and chef-prepared take-home meals. Our Providor has an amazing range of fresh, local and international gourmet products. Come in and enjoy a wood-fire pizza and lunchtime specials on Sunday while listening to live jazz. The Red Hill Baker of Balnarring is at the corner of Balnarring Road and Frankston Flinders Road, Balnarring, a proud station sponsor.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Kevin and his lean team pride themselves on the finest cuts, from juicy steaks and roasts to high-grade mince and sausages. And Eliza Meats are the gourmet specialists. Inquire about Eliza Meats Spit Hire. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. It's all at Eliza Meats. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
Want to plan a cruise holiday?
Somerville Travel's passion is cruising.
Jackie and Rochelle can help you plan your dream holiday to a number of destinations around the world.
As a member of Cruise Co, the girls can offer you exclusive cruises, access to over 50 cruise lines worldwide.
And great fly, cruise and stay holidays to some of the world's most popular destinations.
Call Jackie or Rochelle at Somerville Travel and Cruise today and start planning your next holiday. 03 5977 5433.
Station sponsor.
The final siren's just gone with 18-10, 118 to 7-3, sorry, to 7-13-55. We're going to cross down straight onto the ground now, where Michael Voss is going to join Lockie and Adam Kelly as they present the toe punch shield to the winning team.
Toe punch shield. Thank you very much.
And as you can hear, the applause, Jai Coughlin, the winning captain from Frankston YCW, with Andrew Topunt's son Lockie and his brother Adam as well down there to present the shield on behalf of Andrew Topunt Kelly, who, as we all know, has got a council battle on. And here's Vossi. Over to you, Vossi.
We had the winner, of course, was the winner of the...
Yes, Kyle Hutchison.
Kyle Hutchison was the winner of the medal. Happy, big win for you boys.
Yeah, I couldn't be more pleased with our effort today, Vossi.
the boys did everything I asked. We brought race straight up in the first bounce, and we were able to jump them at the start and, you know, pay dividends.
This game's been talked about for, well, not quite 6 months, but maybe 4 months. There's been a lot of toing and froing. Who's the best? Who does what? But you guys have really, there's no premiership hanging out for you boys. You guys have just hit the ground running straight away.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier. As I said, we don't look backwards. You know what we did in the past has been done. We're looking to the future, and we know we've got to be at our best every week with this new divisional system. And I know that we next time we play Sorrento, I'm sure it'll be a much tougher contest.
Seaford for you boys next week. You would have seen that game yesterday.
Yes, they were very impressive. They hung in there against the team, and those two teams look like they'll be really hard to beat as well this year.
And just a quick word on, mate, but did you have a look at Good Friday football at any chance? Did you go to any of the games on Friday? Happy, I'll let you back to your players. Thanks for your time and good luck for round 2.
Pleasure, mate.
Kyle Hutchison, the winner of the Andrew Kelly Award, and I'll hand it back up to Neil, I guess, in the studio.
Thanks, Michael. And as you just heard, Michael Voss interviewing the victorious coach there in Wayne Capp from the Frankston YCW Football Netball Club. And as he announced, Kyle Hutchison, the vice-captain, number 27, best on the ground to win the Andrew Toe-Punt Kelly medal, as well as Frankston YCW, the victorious team, winning the Andrew Toe-Punt Shield for the inaugural Andrew Toe-Punt Kelly Shield game today, presented by his son Lockie and his brother Adam. And very moving, and rightly so for Andrew Toe-Punt Kelly's contribution over 30 years in both the written format, on the screen as of late, and he's calling it RPP for a long, long time. And Andrew's, as we all know, got a battle on his hands at the present time, but it was fantastic for his family being represented here, and Andrew himself being represented by his son Lockie, who did a great job calling the game, and so did Adam. So numbers 2 and numbers 3 in the Andrew Kelly gang team. So RPP, we're blessed to have the Kelly family here with us once again today, which was a really big game, and as we heard, 63-point winners in the end to Frankston YCW. Now we'll just waiting on the boys coming back up here to join us for our post-game analysis, but I can tell you that Kyle Hutchison was awarded the best on the ground, the RPP Mornington Peninsula Brewery Best on Ground Award. So Kyle Hutchison had a great game, and in the midfield as per normal. Great game to him. Other great players today, serviceable players. Josh Butler, very good first half, kicking goals. Ryan Santon was another very good player for YCW. Kevin Lilac, as always, off the half-back line, off from plenty of run. In fact, he kicked 2 goals, which Michael Voss pointed out to us was very unusual for Kevin. Paul Mitchington was a star in the forward line. Number 8, kicked a number of goals, was very elusive and back to his elusive self, even going for a big mark. And as for Sorrento, I thought Chris Dawes, if he'd kicked straight, he kicked 2-7 and 1 out on the full. Was more than serviceable up forward there. Zach Burns was a very good serviceable player in the middle for Sorrento. He tried hard. I thought Ryan Williams also tried very hard in the ruck against 2 very good big men in Ash Eames and the big source. Just trying to think. Macklin Rain. I was just trying to think of his name for a sec. Sorry about that. As well as I thought Mitch Hallahan and his brother James were very good. Mitch's first game coming down from the Gold Coast, joining Sorrento and his brother. They were very serviceable today. Daniel Grant tried very hard for Sorrento. I thought James Brigden also was extremely good across the half-back line. He was one of their very few four-quarter contributors today. Luke Tapscott tried really hard. He was injured early in the game. He came up with the blood rule, and he was taped up, which I think affected his ability to run. As you could see, he was bandaged up there under the nose. And Michael, welcome back, mate, to the studio.
We managed to get a quick... we managed to get a quick word with Tappy down there, and he's very happy. Obviously, it's round 1, but he was very happy with the way things went for his side this afternoon. Yeah, Kyle Hutchison was fantastic and a worthy recipient of the Andrew Kelly medal this afternoon.
Oh, it's just so fitting to have had, well, as we've spoken about with the Andrew Topun Kelly Shield as well as the BOG, and to have Lockie here under difficult circumstances.
And short pass.
And Adam to come and not only make the effort to come and present, but to call the game as well. It says a lot, doesn't it, for the Kelly family, or the Kelly gang as we refer to them as. So I know Topun's listening. Gee, mate, bloody keep punching, will you please? And you and your family, I know you're doing it tough at the present time, but I can tell you, the love and affection and all the good wishes, especially across the social media, they're coming from thick and far, and they're all very well deserved. Please hang in there, mate, and continue to fight the good fight. I think we'll go to a commercial break, and we'll come back and just do the post wrap-up with Michael Voss. You're listening to RPP, the voice of the Peninsula.
Hi, I'm Jack, and my dad is Pete from the Mornington and Rosebud Telstra stores. I just want to let you know NBN is coming to the Mornington Peninsula, and all of our team are here to help. It's as simple as a face-to-face chat with one of the team to help get your NBN service up and running in no time. So drop into Telstra stores in Mornington and Rosebud.
Or call us now on 1300 My Telstra. That's 1300 698 357.
Across the peninsula, 98.7, 98.3, RPP FM.
Well, welcome back to Skybus Stadium here at Frankston. Once again, just repeating the final scores. Frankston YCW kicked 18-10-118 to Sorrento 7-13-55, running out 63-point winners once the final siren went. Just doing the post-game analysis, Kyle Hutchison would definitely got the 3 votes for today. Paul Mitchington would have got the 2 votes, and we could have raffled the 1 vote. But I think number 14, Kevin Lilac, played a very solid game, as per normal, across the half-back flank, and he kicked a couple of goals to add to that. Ryan Santon and Josh Butland were both extremely handy, and I thought both those guys could have got a mention, could have got the 1 vote as well. But I've got the boys back here in short pass and Lockie. So just joining us back here.
I think there might be some technical difficulties. What was all
We're not sure what's going on. Yeah, want to put this one on, mate. We'll try that again. Okay, anyway, we've got Adam short pass Kelly here. What did you make of the presentation there?
Oh,
and,
look,
and Lockie as well?
Yeah, Lock's here as well. Oh, look, it was good to see that that both teams, obviously, they knew what they were playing for today. YCW, obviously, the victors of the first Shield for Towie. So, oh, look, I think they were gracious in their win, and I think all the YC boys, I think they agreed with the best on.
Yeah,
Did you get that impression?
Yeah, I think there was definitely that impression. I mean, but Dad's got both, great relationships with both YC and I mean, as he does with most clubs, but, he's quite close with a lot of the Sorrento boys and same to the YC boys. So they were both, both sides were great in respecting what they were playing for, as Adam said, and understood what it was all about. And, both very gracious teams, especially after what, Sorrento dealt up with today. They were both, they were still happy to come out and do what they did.
Yeah, well, we saw premiers from last year in Sorrento and Nepean, and then 2017 YC and Peninsula. And going on the weekend's results, fellas, they were all close results.
Yeah.
So I think today's end result, 63 points, was surprising.
Yep. Look, I suppose talking to, and his name escapes me, the YC's...
Wayne Cup.
Cat was saying that for them today it was all about pressure. And Locke mentioned to him that, maybe Sorrento had to look a little bit better. And he said, oh, look, I mean, they did come at us, but we just, from the get-go, it was just all about pressure because they know that Sorrento may not have played their style of footy for a long time, so they were made to play their style of footy, which showed them up, obviously.
Yeah, exactly right. It threw them, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Sorrento would have damn well knew that YC were going to come out hot.
Yeah, well, from the opening bounce, you can see that.
Yeah,
they had 2 goals on the board in the first 2.5 minutes. So you certainly can see that what their intentions were right from the get-go.
But, I mean, as we spoke about as well, as we spoke about throughout the call, was that they just didn't look like they gelled as a team yet. They didn't know what game plan they were playing to just as yet. It looked a bit all over the shop. So, as Wayne Cap said, we probably won't come up against a Sorrento like that again. They'll definitely improve from what they were. And there's no doubt about that. Sorrento will go back to the drawing board and start to work more as a team.
Oh, absolutely. Like we were talking off air earlier about Chris Dawes' performance. Like he actually, if he'd had his kicking boots on, 2-7 and 1 on the full, like on a good day there, he could have had 7 or 8 goals.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden,
63 point different. But you know, in the score, I mean, I know it's easy to say hearsay, but he's normally, reliable for a good 3 or 4 goals a game, as proven last season. But today, he just, unfortunately, just couldn't land him between the big sticks.
Dongarello's had a shocker. If Dawes comes out and kicks, 7 or 8, then Onga's, let him off the leash. But obviously, just that pressure, we know that he can play, that pressure style footy, and he definitely commanded.
I thought they had a few.
Crossing to Vossi,
the trophy this afternoon, and Hutch, a great win for you boys, and a really good way to start the season.
Yeah, well, that's what we trained all pre-season for, the big round 1 clash against the now rivals, I guess, with the divisions coming, changing up. So we set ourselves for round 1 and we delivered, which was good. So next week is the new challenge, and we just keep moving on.
Could you sense that there was more on this game, even though it was a round 1 fixture, than some other round 1s you've had in the past?
I guess from the outside it was built up, but that's understandable. But we just looked at it as another opposition in the way, and that's how we tried to treat it. There probably was a little bit more on the line, just for pride a little bit, but it's good to get a win.
And to win the medal in named of Andrew Tate Punt Kelly must be a great honour for yourself. Everyone knows Toey's got a lot of battles to get through at the moment, and we wish him all the best with that. But to win his medal must be a great honour for yourself.
Oh, absolutely. He's a massive part of local football and has been for a long time. So, as Frankston YCW, definitely wish him the best of luck on his recovery, and hope he fights it like we know he will.
Unfortunately, he couldn't get down there today, but his brother Short Pass was here, and Lockie, his son, was here, and I think his daughter might have been here as well. But certainly a few of the family members down here. Look, I'm sure he'd appreciate those words. Hutch, thanks for joining us. Good luck for the season, and good luck next week against Seaford.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers.
Thanks again.
Okay, as you heard, that was the best on ground, Mornington Peninsula best on ground player, Kyle Hutchison, the vice captain of the Frankston YCW team, and he's continued on from last year, just onwards and upwards. And if this is a sign of things to come, they won the flag in convincing fashion. They've certainly set the standard and the tone today, haven't they, for the rest of the competition?
Yeah, that's for sure. Against what was supposedly going to be the second best team in the comp, and they've come out and done that. So certainly going to be an interesting season ahead. It's only round 1, so we can't assume anything yet. Plenty of footy to be played.
Plenty of footy to be played. Plenty of rounds. You can't put Sorrento to bed. They're going to go. They're going to get their,
too much
their
class
stuff together. Absolutely. And look, I mean, the club's too important to those that care, obviously. So, they'll go back. They'll work. They'll figure out what they've done. There would have been people in the stands, the old boys watching, and they'll go back and they'll work it out.
Oh, they're coached by Chris Dawes and Luke Tapscott, both
correct.
AFL class players. Have been through some serious AFL coaches. Mick Malthouse coached Chris Dawes, so I'm sure there's some talent to come through coaching ranks, and obviously they just had that interruption halfway through pre-season.
Do you think that actually had anything to do with today's result?
I think it could have thrown game plan, because I reckon there's probably 99% chance that Tony Blackford was giving them a different game plan to what Luke Tapscott and Chris Dawes would have wanted them to play. And I mean, from all reports through pre-season, they've had a really interrupted one. So, they've been struggling to
you get numbers on the track.
Yeah, to get numbers on the track. There was 10 or 15 at one training session at one stage. So, to teach a game plan to 10 or 15 players when you've got 22 out there on a day, it's going to be tough. So, I reckon there's a lot more to come for Sorrento, and they'll definitely bounce back from that.
No dramas. Well, we might just go to another ad break while we are still trying to do this post-game analysis, and we'll be back shortly. You're listening to RPP, the voice of the Peninsula.
Ever thought of yourself as a powerful member of your local community? As a customer of a Bendigo Community Bank branch, that's exactly who you are. For when you choose to bank with the Bendigo Bank, it triggers a cycle of great outcomes for your local community. Banking with a community bank means your community shares in the bank's income. Your community then decides which projects that income is spent on. So let's make great things happen. Drop into your nearest Bendigo Community Bank branch or visit bendigobank.com.au. A proud station sponsor.
Boys, gather round, lads. Come in, come on, come in. We have a new import. He's special, well hopped, and can go a lot longer than you lot. Hop culture. Hop culture. Thanks, boys. Pale, lager, brown, IPA. Look after him, okay?
Thanks, Jake. I'd just like to thank the teacher, Harry Smith, my mum, my dad, the man on the tram, the nana, my dog Kenny, the girlfriend.
Mornington Peninsula Brewery love football as much as they love making world-class beer. That's why they're the sponsors of local footy. This season, treat yourself to a round of beer and a pizza at the Brewery Bar. Mornington Peninsula Brewery, 72 Watt Road, Mornington.
Hi, I'm Jack, and my dad is Pete from the Mornington and Rosebud Telstra stores. I just want to let you know, NBN is coming to the Mornington Peninsula, and all of our team are here to help. It's as simple as a face-to-face chat with one of the team to help get your NBN service up and running in no time. So drop into Telstra stores in Mornington and Rosebud.
Or call us now on 1300 My Telstra. That's 1300 698 357.
Okay, welcome back once more to Skybus Stadium here today. I've got Michael Voss here just to finalise the 3-2-1. I wasn't sure, obviously, what you had to say in regards to that, but obviously Kyle Hutchison being the BOG got the 3 votes. I thought that Paul Minchington for 2, and I gave Kevin Lilac, I thought he was running carry plus his 2 goals, just ahead of Josh Butlin and Ryan Santon, who I thought were very good players today as well.
I know he had 9 shots at goal, Chris Dawes, but I'm going to give Christian Longarello 1. I'm going to give 2 votes to Ash Eames in the ruck. I think Ash Eames was the dominant big man on the ground, and 3 votes to Kyle Hutchison. Okay, there you go. Well, we did agree on that, mate. Well, and just a brief look to next week, which we've got round 1 for Division 2. We've got Chelsea take on Red Hill. We've got Devon Meadows hosting Pearcedale. Hastings will play at home to Crib Point. Rye take on Tyab. Somerville will host Dramana. Karingal take on Langwarrin. While in Division 1, we've got, as you mentioned earlier, Vossi, we've got Sorrento at home next week to Mount Eliza. Rosebud will host Bond Beach. Mornington at home to Frankston Bombers. Seaford versus Frankston YCW. And then another big game on Sunday where EDS will host the Pines. Well, it doesn't get much better for round 2, mate, for us to get into in Division 1. And then I'm trying to think of the significance of why that's on a Sunday next week, considering they're not notoriously a Sunday game, Edithvale and Pines. I guess they might be Edithvale might be trying to create something, considering Chelsea aren't in the comp anymore, and Edithvale used to play Chelsea on a Sunday, so that might be the part of the reason behind that. But that does take us out here from Frankston Park this afternoon. And of course, thanks to our sponsors, to Pete and the team, the Mornington Rosebud Telstra stores, to Rye Hotel, to Bendigo Bank, to David Barks Retrovision, Mornington Peninsula Brewery, Matt Beebe, of course, there as well. And with thanks to our great technical team. Great job today putting the pictures. Hopefully you've enjoyed the coverage this afternoon. The pictures will be back next week, as will you and I, Neil, for a match that we'll publicise during the week. We'll have a bit of a talk about it, and we'll let you know what we're going to do on Saturday. But rest assured, we will be at the football on Saturday live at 2 o'clock. And
just to Towie, before we finalise, all the best to Andrew and to Katie, Brianna, Lockie, your parents, Shane and Maxine, and your brother, Pass or Adam, and your sister, Tracy, and to everyone else in the Kelly family. Once again, please take care. Our thoughts and best wishes are with you on behalf of the entire Mornington Peninsula football community. And until next week, the voice of the Peninsula is RPPFM 98.7 and 98.3.